Yo, what's up? How old are you?
First and foremost, young man, I'm not old. I'm young. I'm
Okay,
44.
for sure. Yeah,
My name is Joshua Emmanuel.
Yeah, do you consider yourself psychic?
Well, yeah, see, because I've witnessed homicides in my sleep. You hear me? I was in a sleep state, a dormant state, and I watched people get killed in my sleep. And then I woke up and got the chance to tell them and warn them it was my big brother. But then it still transpired. So after that, you know, I realized I have this power where I can you turn this down for a minute? I can tap into the past, to the present, and into the future. Now, I come from the streets. I grew up in Detroit, so I barely made it off the streets alive. Everybody I grew up with was killed or put in jail or still going through the same shit because of what we went through in the 90s and 80s and shit. But here in the 2020 and 2020 to 2010s and double O's, because you look young. The reason why I know I'm a seer now, because of what's happening to the so-called blacks in Americas, we know who we are now. We're the Messiah blood. We're the blood of the real Messiah on this planet. Our inventions, our culture, our farming methods, because they teach us we come from Africa. They call us blacks. They call us Negroes, which are corpses. They call us mulattoes and coloreds. But we're actually the children of the sun. We're the real gods of this earth. You were made in the image of the gods. You hear that? I got 10 children, right? Listen,
I have a question. How do we know?
How do you know what?
How do we know that we're made in the image of the gods?
Because you got to deal with the carbon. The carbon is so important. It's the God particle. If you can get under the sun and the sun not exterminate you, then you are a part of this transformation on the planet, because we're in a solar cycle, young man. We're in a solar.
Why is that the qualifier?
What's the qualifier of what?
Why is the qualifier of whether or not you can stand in the sun for long periods
Because
of
it's
time?
what sustains life on this earth.
Well, I mean, that's partially. I mean, there's also life on this earth that allows for there to be shade. I don't think that there
Then
needs to
you're
be
working
like
at
in the sun all day.
So there
are different parts of the planet that have different
you're
levels
working at a
of
recessive
sunlight.
gene. Your genome sequences in a recessive manner.
Is that a bad thing?
Well, no, not necessarily. But this is why you have to activate your carbon and your DNA sequence from.
How do I activate my carbon and my DNA sequence?
Stop eating meat. Practice semen retention. Stop breathing in and out through your mouth. Breathe in and out through your nose. Make sure you're doing the things that are holistic. You see what I'm saying? Because again, I call myself a psychic because I have suffered enough to get to the point in my life, because I'm a parent too. I got 10 children. I could have 1,000 children because my seed is so powerful. I'm the seed of Solomon in them. You hear that? So, because I've seen you on these streams before. I've tried to jump in your stream because I have sons that look like you. But look how I look. Look how I look. You see me? I got hair that's big and bushy. You see me? I'm a so-called black, right? But I got sons that look like you. So if you could trace your lineage back far enough, because you got brown hair, what color your eyes? Like a brown or hazel?
They're hazel.
Yeah, your ancestors look like me and even darker, right? Right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
yeah.
my man.
I have different characteristics than I do from my ancestors. The same as any other individual would have different characteristics from what their ancestors
Okay, so
were.
again, I can feel it in your tone. You seem like you're being a bit combative, but I'm not trying to argue with you, because again, the reason I call myself a god, you just seem like you're getting a bit frustrated. The reason why
I seem frustrated right now?
Just a little tiny bit. Just a little bit. Look, let me just explain it to you, my man, because I don't want to hold up too much time on your stream. Because
I really actually, I have no clue how you perceived me to be like at all like angry.
It's a passive aggressiveness I've picked up on you in your streams.
Passive aggressive? How am I being?
Yeah, because you can tell you're real intelligent, but you're to the point with this intelligence though where you feel like you can't be taught no more. But you can.
I get taught all the time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Guaranteed I can teach you some things, my G, and I can learn from you too.
That's very true. That's very true. But that doesn't mean every single thing that you say I'm going to accept, right? So I would question anything as I would question anything with any other person. Okay. Right? If you think that my questioning is somehow passive aggression, right, it seems like you have some like inability to be able to critique your own standpoint. It doesn't seem like it's going to be my issue there.
Well, I've critiqued my standpoint, young man. I already told you. If you look at around this planet right now, every people around this earth venerate our culture, so-called blacks from the ancient Americas. America is the real Garden of Eden. This is the real biblical lands over here.
How do you know America is the real Garden of Eden?
Oh, based on natural resources and minerals and animals, we outnumber everybody in every lands with animals, seeds, blood. We got more so-called black people in these lands than anywhere else on the planet. They lied to us about everything. They put all these.
How does that determine whether or not something is the Garden of Eden? Because the Garden of Eden has particular conditions of like
The
a
Garden
God
of Eden is
creating
a
this
place
sort
of
of
utopia.
world.
It's a place of utopia. It's a place that feeds other places. All of our seeds are around the world. All of our animals are all around the world. When they tell you that these things went extinct, like the Mayas, Aztecs, American lion, the mammoth, all these things, different saber-toothed tiger, they're just doing this scheme on you to make you scramble. Because again, I'm a Johnson. My last name is Johnson, right? But they taught me my last name's a slave master's name. But that's just not true. Everything these people taught us over here is an absolute lie because they're holding our
I have one
land.
question. I have one question. One thing being a lie doesn't mean that every other thing would be a lie.
Yes, it does,
right?
damn near,
This
because
would be a
everything I'm finding out
composition
is a lie.
fallacy. This would be a composition fallacy. Just because a part of a particular entity works a particular way doesn't mean the whole of that entity operates the same way, right? The same thing, the same reasoning would be applicable to, say, like a tree, right? We would say that a tree is not visible to the human eye because it's made up of atoms in which are not visible to the human eye, right? But as a whole, it has different properties from just being a part.
Well, my man, I'm a walking tree. Have you ever compared the fingerprint to the tree ring? It looks almost identical. Have you ever compared the lungs to the way a tree's branches, leaves look on the veins on the tree? The lungs look exactly identical. Have you ever compared the veins on your arms to the veins on a tree?
I mean, we have genetic similarities, so for things to look similar, right, that wouldn't be bad. But even if I don't know if they even considerably look similar.
They definitely
right?
do.
I would
They look
say that
identical.
there are definitely differences. I think that there are some similarities, but there are definitely huge differences. But I mean, the same time, even if they do look similar, that's like not something that's like not to be expected under a naturalist worldview.
Under a naturalist worldview.
Like where it's just like naturalistic.
Okay.
Because aren't you using this to like imply that there's like some sort of notion of God?
Well, when you say the word God, see, I like to study etymology. When you get to the etymological root of words, they start to unlock and they reveal the true essence of the so-called word. So when you go to the etymological root of the word G-O-D, it's the same as the word gut, G-U-T. That's why they sound the same. That's why people tell you go with your gut. If you never know what to do, just go with your gut. Because etymologically, these two words, gut and God, come from the same word, gut, G-U-D, which is Old German. So with these words, right, because God is power. It means to create, to invoke, to call upon, to bring forth. So when we talk about God, we're just talking about where is your source of creation? Where is the primordial water, the primordial land, the primordial blood? It's here in America, in the so-called blacks from America. We are the master race, the most advanced civilization on this planet. Your cell phone, your internet, your toilet, your refrigerator, all your inventions in your home right now come from our people. We have more patents on this planet than any other people. But they teach us we come from Africa. They teach us we're hoodlums and criminals and drug addicts and, you know, all these different things. So I'm thankful I got the opportunity to jump in your stream, right? Because again, I have sons that look like you, man. I have 7 children's mothers, 7 baby moms. And my sons, right, I don't get along with a couple of them, with a few of them, more than probably most of them, because of what's happening on this planet. Like, this information is wide open, my G, wide open. So if you're at a place where you can't access all this information, you got to get somewhere and be still, be quiet, because God is real. God is power. It's power. And my name is Joshua Emmanuel Johnson. You can look me up on the internet. Go ahead and Google me. Joshua Emmanuel Johnson in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. I'm not afraid of nothing. You hear that?
So like when it relates to like the etymology of a word, just
Yeah.
because there's a particular etymology of the word doesn't mean that people are using it within that particular context.
Well, again,
So you
that's
could
for
say
y'all
the
to.
etymology of the word God
Well,
could
that's
relate
what
to the
you're
word.
doing. That's what you're
No,
doing.
I'm not.
Because with me, I have a clear discernment on what God means.
Yeah, yeah. So like that would be the way that you're referencing it. But what I'm saying is that when most people are referencing the term, they're not using it within the context of the etymology of the
Because they're
word.
not God. They're not activating the God in them.
Are
Because
you saying
God
that
is
God only used words in the context of the
God
etymology
is
of the
power.
word?
Wait, well, again, you keep trying to make it seem like what I'm doing is trying to prove you wrong when I'm not. I'm just stating the
What,
facts.
what do you mean? What do you mean? Prove you wrong? I'm just like questioning the
Well, okay,
position.
well, God is a word that comes from another word. So if you study the actual origin of the words, then you get a more processing on the matter. You get to really get to clear
What are we trying to get a clear like vision of,
what is
right?
God. What is a psychic? A
Well,
psychic
no,
is
no.
God.
Well, what we consider God to be now is going to be different from the etymology of the word, right? When I'm talking about like a God, we're referencing like an all-knowing, all-powerful, all-good entity that
That's what it
created the
is.
universe, right? That's kind of what we're referencing. We're not going to necessarily reference like necessarily the gut. What would be derived from that belief in the all-knowing, all-powerful,
Well,
all-good
see,
God
you know why
would
the
be
gut
that
is
you
so
have some
important?
sort of gut
You know why
that
the
is.
gut is so important? Because I don't eat meat. I stopped eating meat over 10 years ago. I don't eat nothing processed. All I eat is fresh fruit and fresh herbs. Now, I grew up on welfare. We grew up on Section 8 projects, poor, gunfights, drug addicts, all that shit in the hood. But there was a calling that happened to our people here in America where we were, when they said that CORONA hit, it's actually the sun is getting closer to the planet right now. It's going to be actually on the earth almost. It's going to be
How do
on
you
the
know?
ground damn near. I'm just
How do you
telling you,
know?
my man. Huh?
How do you know?
Oh, because it's in my Akashic records to know. You see,
What
that's
records?
why I
How do
stopped
I
eating.
find those records?
You have to open up. You have to get to a quiet place, a still place. Don't eat meat. Like you got to not eat probably for like fucking 90 days, bro. Hey, I went through a process, and like you know, and if you get to this book,
How
those
does 90
ancient
days like somehow
or
remove it from
30
your
or
system?
60, you can do it in 3 days. It just depends on your body. For real, for real. Because I abstain from eating all flesh, anything processed. And I didn't do this growing up. But something happened to me in like 2011, 2012. And they said that the world was going to end. But it was ending. All the illusions were ending. All the illusions were shattering. Because I know so much about myself now. And it was because I stopped eating that meat. I started practicing semen retention.
So like here, I want to just reference like a few things, right? So what about this particularly indicates to you that you have like psychic abilities?
Well, once again, I just shared with you. I seen into the future and told my big brother he got shot in his chest.
So
And then I woke
is this
up.
something that you can reproduce now? Like, do you have these
Yeah,
sorts of
I've done it
abilities?
before. Yeah, but
Could you
you
do it
have
on the
to.
live right here?
I mean, I could, but it's dangerous. You really don't. You know, it's not
How
supposed to
is it?
play with
How
it
is it dangerous?
because it draws too much attention, and people will think there's something going on with you. And then I've already done it before, and I've got reported, and I'm not here to go through that shit. But I just showed you. Look, with
Is
me,
it something negative?
it can be. Yeah, it
Why?
can be because
Why?
you might hear something or see something that you're not supposed to, and it happens faster than it should. Because look, my mom, right? My mother is of German, Irish, and Italian descent. Her people came over on boats, like most of the Europeans in America. But when she came over here, her family, she's a Bush, right? BUSH, just like the president. When they came over here, because they're Sicilians, her father was a Sicilian, her mother was a German and an Irish. But when they came over here, the first thing they did was mix in with the so-called blacks. Because I went to school with Bushes, right? Who weren't related to my mother. But I'm sharing that with you, right? Because again, you're in America, aren't you?
Yeah.
So
Appreciate the
you
handout. Thank you.
You are in the ancient lands. You getting on these TikTok streams, and you get a lot of attention. I see, right? Because I be having 2.5K in my streams too. I be doing it, but I'm not on here for the attention. So if you're on these types of streams for real, your best bet is to reciprocate your genuine authenticity. You know what I'm talking about? And don't try to put up a front or a fraud and try to do this shit for show, because you're gonna get judged for everything you're doing. Everything you're doing in this body, you're gonna have to weigh it against your spirit, your
I
gas.
don't think I'm gonna get judged by like a god or some
No,
supernatural
you're gonna
being,
judge
but
you. You're
I am
God.
gonna judge myself,
Yeah, you're gonna
right?
judge you.
And I do judge myself, and that's why I do come on here authentic, right? I don't come on here to like fucking lie about who I am. I don't think I actually could do that. I do literally do live 6 hours every single day. I don't even know if that would be possible, but
Now, do you still eat meat? Because you look like you do dibble and dabble, maybe some chicken.
I still do now, but I don't want to continue.
Wow, wow, interesting. So, again, with these times that we're in, your best bet is to stop eating the flesh. And you have to get
See,
fresh.
I would do so for other reasons, like because I think it's like wrong to kill sentient life, right? That would be
Well,
like
yeah,
the
first and
reason.
foremost, yes,
Like
absolutely.
I think that would be a way bigger reason than I would say like
There's no
the reason I don't
minerals, there's
I
no
don't think I have
nutrients
any
in
reason to
meat.
believe what you're saying right
The
now.
meat is a fraud. MEAT, the very word is a fraud. They put the word eat in the word meat to make you think that that shit is to be eaten, but it's not. That's not even meat. Meat is the flesh of anything. It could be the flesh of a tomato, the flesh of an apple. But they made us think
Well, what do you mean by meat?
when you say the word MEAT, they put the word EAT in that word.
I understand that. I'm just saying what do you mean by meat? Because you considered like the quote unquote flesh of a tomato to be
Yeah,
meat.
because fruit is my meat.
Wait,
Herbs are my meat.
so you eat meat still?
No, fruit is my meat.
But so if fruit is your meat, then you're eating meat still, right?
No, the term meat is the flesh of any organism, if I'm not mistaken. Meat.
Okay, so then you're since you're eating an organism, which would be a
I'm
tomato.
eating straight organic, raw, alkaline fruits. I don't eat vegetables because there is no such thing as a vegetable.
You don't eat vegetables?
There is no such thing as vegetables. Everything that you think is a vegetable is
Dude,
either
that
a
might be the
fruit.
most base thing you've said all day, man. Fuck
Everything you
vegetables,
eat
so real.
that you think is a vegetable is either a fruit or an herb. Yo, my man, my name is Joshua Emmanuel. Do you know about them names? Because I'm a Messiah. I'm a walking Messiah.
How do you know that you're the Messiah?
I said I'm part of a bloodline that is messianic. I just told you, so-called blacks from America, we are the messiahs of this planet. This is
What
why
does it
all
mean to
around,
be like a Messiah?
what does it take to be a messiah?
No, like what does it mean to be a Messiah?
Well, you have a healing power, you have a drawing power, you have the power to discern.
A
You have
hearing power and a drawing power? What do you mean by a drawing
I
power?
said healing.
Yeah, healing and drawing. You
And
said,
to
right?
draw, you have the power of attraction. Look, every
So,
time you see that skull and bone shit, that's my people. You see the Wakanda movie when they throw that shit up like this? Wakanda is in America. Wakanda's always been in America. Wakanda Park Mounds, the Wakanda Springs in Kansas, Wisconsin. So when you see Skull and Bones, right? This is our people, the X, the people of the X, the Cross, the X-Men. They make movies about us. We're superhumans, man. You hear me? Look, I'm 6'4", right? But growing up, I was always the
wait,
fastest.
I'm confused, right?
I know
What
you
what
are.
are
A
we
lot of people are.
No. Why would we consider people superhuman? Because then aren't we saying that they're not human then?
Once again, we're not just human though. I'm solar, so I come from the solar system.
Superhuman would indicate that an individual is not human. Wouldn't that be a method of
Look,
dehumanization?
there's no one on the planet that can do the shit that we do, man. Where do you find your Michael Jordans? Where was your Michael Tysons? Who invented your cell phone? Who invented your binary code to search the internet? A so-called Black American.
I
All
don't think
these
I
things.
would judge who's like more beneficial to the
Listen again.
world, like
I'm
in
just.
terms of
I'm
groups
giving you
based
the.
upon like
You're fighting it.
technological advances.
You're fighting it. Nowhere on the
No,
planet they
no,
do the
because
shit that we
like
do.
because then couldn't we say like because men are like also like responsible for a lot of technological advances,
That's just
that
not
then
true.
it would mean that like
That's
they
the
would be like
patriarchal.
superior or like superhuman?
There
I
is
feel
no
like
such
that's the same reasoning.
there is no such thing as gender. There is no such thing as a man or a woman. There is no such thing as someone being mixed. I am the same male as the very first male from my bloodline. X.
Gender definitely does exist.
Nah,
I
it
don't know what
doesn't.
you're
That's a
talking
fraud.
about, like in a
Wholly
descriptive
androgynous.
sense.
Look, I represent the wholly androgynous. You ever see the Baphomet symbol when they got the beast with the breasts and the male stuff? That's
Yeah,
a
you're just referencing like a depiction of
no.
Satan, which I don't
I'm
even believe
referencing
exists.
divine masculine, divine feminine, because inside of me is an eternal light. I have a soul, a real soul, which is directly connected to the SOL, which is the word sun in Spanish. SOUL and SOL and SOIL are all directly connected, okay? Again, my man, I'm 44, right? But I've been coming back for millions of years. I've been always coming back because I'm ancient. You hear me? My last name is Johnson. It's all around the planet. Jansons, Yansons, Jonsons, Johnsons, Jensens, it's everywhere because my name is venerated around the planet. That's why they tell you, they reference your private part as a Johnson because it's the royal seed. You hear me? See, we cracking codes out here, my G. I'm an ancient prophet. I'm an ancient God. All right. Now I've been doing my best to be a parent because I got sons that. Because when I see you, I'm
How do you
drawn.
know that you're a prophet or an ancient god?
Because everything I do has aligned myself to my ancient ancestors. I have a Kaaba. I wear sashes. I got a whole bunch of jewelry, and I wear obsidian. Like I got big ancient mescales.
How does that make you a god for you just
Because
to like do things that are
again, I'm a
associated with like
power. I draw power anywhere I go. I've done live streams and been up to 5K before, my man. Just from people seeing me and hearing me from my voice. You hear this? I make people tremble when I get in their presence.
getting 5K, does that mean that
Look,
like
I
there's
told
something
you,
crazy
God is
there?
the power of attraction.
No.
God,
I'm just questioning, right? Like you getting 5K, what is that supposed to mean?
because people are drawn to the power. They want to know what is it. What are you? Why
Okay,
are
I
you
appreciate the
making?
cat. Thank you so much. So then wouldn't you say people are drawn to the power with me then?
Well, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
That's
So,
just like a weird way to put it.
well, there's a lot of weird stuff going on right now, my man. They added 1,000 years to the calendar. It's not even
Um,
we use a Gregorian. It's not even an accurate time. So
well, the
everything's a
Gregorian
scramble.
is actually a pretty accurate
Oh, come
calendar
on,
when it
man. There's
relates to like the
Gregorian, Julian.
seasons.
Come
Like
on, man.
scientifically, it's pretty accurate. Like
Listen, man, I represent the
it's
most
literally
advanced
the most
civilization on the planet.
most accurate calendar we've ever
We're,
had. So I don't know
no,
what you're
the
talking
Mayan
about, to be
calendar.
honest with
The
you.
Mayan calendar is the most accurate calendar, my man. That's
How
our
do you know?
calendar.
How do you
What do you mean,
determine
how
which
do
one
I
is
know?
accurate?
Because every calendar uses that calendar to make their calendars. Go
Like just
look it up.
because it uses prior information wouldn't indicate that that it's the
So
same model or
what's your
that like the Mayan
genealogy?
calendar is
Where are
better.
you? German, Irish?
I don't know fully. I think it's just like a Western European, like some Scandinavian,
So
like
your
Britain,
people were
stuff
the
like
real
that.
ones who came over in the transatlantic slave trade, because it wasn't our people.
Um, I don't know particularly like my ancestry, but it could be involved with that. I don't know.
Yeah, have you ever looked up USS Patricia? It shows you the real transatlantic slave trade. There were no so-called black people who took in from Africa over here. It was just a small percentage. Most of the people they stole were from here and they took them everywhere. Our bloodlines are all around the planet. Go look at the Egyptian
Yeah, I mean,
gods.
I think there's bloodlines of different human beings all around the planet,
Listen, you know
right?
what you
Just
can do
across
for
the
me, my
board.
man? Go look up the Carboniferous period. The Carboniferous period. When you look up the Carboniferous period, it's also known as the Age of Amphibians. Okay? This is the period when aquatic animals first appeared onto the land. Now, if you go to this Carboniferous period, it's divided into two subperiods known as the Mississippian and Pennsylvanian. Now, why would they use two American states to call these two subperiods of a
Because this is 300 million years ago.
Right. Now,
Because of Pangea.
No,
because
there is no such thing as Pangea. Stop it.
No, there
Stop
absolutely
it.
is.
No,
It's
there
literally,
isn't. The continents were never
and
connected.
literally, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, but that shit's a fraud. That shit's a fraud.
No, we have really good reason to believe that.
Well, once again,
that
America
tectonics
was up.
move.
Hold on, let me finish.
That's exactly why we have things
let me
like
finish.
mountains.
The America was up from the waters long before any other lands. You got to turn this down a little bit, Journey. When you go to the Carboniferous period, dating back over 350 million years, divided into two subperiods known as the Pennsylvanian and Mississippian, they're called those two subperiods because of the coal deposits left behind by the ancient trees. Okay? America is the most ancient place on this earth. We were up from the ancient waters long before any other lands. Okay? And when those other lands began to come up, the first thing our people did was take our seeds, our animals, and our bloodlines.
We weren't around 300 million years ago.
Yes, we were. I've been around since the first waters were on this planet. I'm from the ancient water.
You've been on Earth for 300 million years?
Yo, my bloodline, we created the Earth. I created the Earth and the water.
Human beings have existed for 250,000
I'm not a human.
years.
I just told you that. I'm not a human. I'm a solar child. I come from the solar system. You hear me? Everything down here we created. We made y'all in our image. I'm the God. My bloodline. Yeah. Yep.
So you believe that you're God?
Well, again, my blood is the primordial blood, meaning from all of my blood, all other lines descend from. Yeah. I should have been a Smith.
So you've been around for 300. Wait, so if you've been around for 300 million years.
Longer. Longer than that. There is no such thing as time.
Thank you.
Turn the word time backwards. It's EMIT. That means what? Emit. I know I'm schooling you at a lot of shit you never heard before because I'm the God. This is what we do. You hear me? The word emit. What does it mean? What does it mean to emit? Can you tell me?
To like let off some type of energy.
That's time. That's all what time is. It's a process of your energy.
Okay, we wouldn't just take a word.
Listen, that's what they do.
And be like, this is the meaning
what they
we have.
do. That is what they do.
Who's they?
The people who took over and they took our information, our ancient culture, our ancient wise minds, all our information, and they twist it and they manipulate it and pervert it. That's why they call us black. Black means the opposite. You're black. You're black. Black means pale. I have sons who are pale. They're actually technically black. You see me? Just like the what? Why are you looking like that?
I'm sorry. I think that's just like okay.
Yeah, this shit is up.
I don't see how you get that.
I know you can.
Are you referencing? That was like a redefinition of a word. So I just
no.
I don't know. Man.
I use etymology. When you go to the etymology,
yeah, I mean etymology, right? But like when you're describing
pale.
it that way, it would just
you're
end
black.
Hold up. It would just end with what's called an equivocation, right? You're saying that these two words are the same when they're not actually the same, right?
Black
so we're
is
just
the
using the
absence
words
of light.
differently.
It's the absence of light. Black. It's the same as bleach and blank. That's why they say they almost sound the same. Same when you say the word dad. It's the same as saying the word dead. It's the same word. They use these words to captivate. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Definitely.
It definitely is a different word.
Yeah, but again, when you listen
just because
to the vernacular,
they have similar spelling doesn't mean, and just because it sounds similar doesn't mean that it's the same word.
You know, you sound like you must have went to college. Did you go to college?
I'm currently in college, yes.
Yeah, you sound like you're in college because the further you go into colleges, they indoctrinate you and they get you stuck on stupid. I'm just keeping it 100.
I'm stupid because I go to college.
I didn't say you were stupid. I said colleges get you stuck on stupid.
What does it mean to be stuck on stupid?
Look, you're in here telling me black don't mean the opposite of what it means, and it does.
No, when people are using it within a connotation of like a color, say we have like a palette of colors, right? It's gonna be the case that it appears to be a particular way. Right?
So how do you call a person a color?
You're saying that it's the absence of light. You're referencing it in a different connotation than what people are referencing in terms of like a color palette.
Okay, so where do you stand with calling people colors?
I don't think that we should necessarily do so, but we need to recognize the history of how this has influenced society and negatively impacted people on the basis of referencing it this way.
Wow.
I don't think it's a
what
relevant
an answer. Quite the reply, young man.
What do you mean quite the reply? That's like
that's a good reply. That's what I mean. You have these tendencies when you speak. You have some intelligence, but then there's some moments when your replies they seem like flatlined. You know what I mean? So you're like you're swaying back and forth, but you're tapped in some. I'm telling you, because you got the God in you too. The God is in you. If you from America, right? Your people came over here on boats, because your last name got to be one of these names out here in America. Thompsons, Williams, Jones, White, Green, Black. You got one of our names most likely. You don't got to say your name, but most likely you have one of our names, and you're probably taught it's a slave master's name, and it's not. It's not because
I
you.
wasn't taught my last name was a slave master's name.
Well, again,
Um,
most of us are in America. You go, they teach you that shit in school.
yeah, not about my name.
Maybe not
Um,
yours, but most of us, they do it. Now, some of
um,
these Europeans kept their names when they came
wh-
over here.
when did we learn about that in school?
What you mean? Hey, everybody always told me my last name was belonged to a slave master, Johnson.
No, I'm saying like school systems across the U.S. Like, are
Man,
you
they
saying this
teach
is
that shit
broad?
in every school. That
Every
if you got
school?
the same last name as a so-called white person, so-called white people and so-called black people got the same last names, they teach you because the so-called white people owned you. That's what they teach us. That's what they taught
Um,
us.
okay, so I mean, I don't think that would be at every single school. As like, I clearly didn't learn stuff about this, and that's why I think that there should be a lot of a broader sense of like actual like history, because there's been a lack of acknowledging, right, different aspects of history, right? Because it's only been looked at a lens of people who are like a white men in the United States, right? So it is the case that we need to have history that accurately represents all people, right? Or accurately represents what actually happened to everyone, not to just a specific subset or through a specific lens there.
You know what, man? Let me ask you something, man. I'm gonna go ahead and drop down after this one because you know you're doing your thing. And people are getting restless in the comments, but you know I've shared a lot of different things with you, and I'm not really sure you process them effectively, but hopefully you can. I mean, it's a lot of stuff that it sounds bizarre, but again, I just want to reiterate because we
Well,
wouldn't even.
I want to clarify a few things. Like when it relates to you saying that you've been around for 300 million
I
years,
definitely have. I
how am
definitely
I?
have.
I'm gonna be totally real. How am I supposed to believe that? Like
Well,
genuinely.
how can I even say something like that? Look, someone said turn to Jesus. That's my bloodline. The greatest story ever told was about our people. We were walking on water when they showed up. Go look up the term Shinampa. We built gardens on the water. Chinampa. You hear me? So again, we're the children of the sun. I'm a primordial bloodline. Like I'm in this avatar right now, but I'm a divine light child. So I'm a star seed. So I can have the opportunity to come back if I want to, especially now that I know who I am. Like I'm a creator. I'm a prime creator, my dude. Because you probably don't have no children. I had a child when I was younger than you. Babies having babies. I'm just keeping it real with you.
Well, so I have a question then. How am I supposed to believe this? So, like, what is something that you could show me that I could be able to determine that, right? Because you have to acknowledge that from an outside perspective, someone
We
hearing
wouldn't even
claims
be
like,
able to communicate right now if it wasn't for my people's technology. Your touchscreen phone, your facial recognition on your phone, so-called black Americans gave you your technology. And we're not from Africa. We are a messianic blood. We have the highest genome sequences on the planet, 12, 15, and beyond, the unknown. This is why we jump the highest, we run the fastest, we swim the strongest. Everything about us, we're the smartest. Everything is about us is the fastest, strongest, smartest. It's us, man. We're the messiahs. That's why they did that shit to us over here. Told us we was from Africa, put drugs, guns, all these liquor stores on every corner. They were trying to kill us off, man. And they're still trying to do it.
hey Matt, I'm just asking like from a specific stance, right? How can I know that you have been around for 300 million years? Like, is there something that you could tell me that you've been around from 300 years that you wouldn't
I've
be able
told you
to
so
know?
many different things that you were never
Because
on with.
the
I
thing is,
told you turn the word time backwards. I told you go look up the Carboniferous period. I told you
you
that I'm a
understand.
fallen star. I
Yeah, I
told you
understand.
this. Go
I
look it up.
understand. These are claims, not things
They're
that you
not
could not.
claims. This shit is on the line. We live in the information age. Everything is open now. You cannot hide nothing now. Everything is being revealed in the glory of the sun. I am a sun. I am a walking atom. I am a walking nuclear. Me. I am divine light. Look, I've been in places where people have shook and trembled in my presence, man. Just from me looking at them and talking to them. Yeah. Because I represent, look, my last name should have been Smith. Smith and Johnson are the most used names in America right now. Right now. There are more Smiths and Johnsons in America than any other names. But they tell us that they're English surnames. But they're not. I'm directly connected to Prester John. The word John means king. I'm son of your highness, Johann, John's son.
Wait, I have a question. So if you've been around for 300 million years, right? Where
Over
were
350 million. I'm infinite. I created time.
you created time itself.
Well, that time is actually energy. It's just power. That's what time is.
Okay, so are you saying that like you exist outside of this plane as well?
Absolutely. I told you, when you go to sleep, right? When you're in that dormant state, some of us can skip timelines. I hopped timelines before. Look, let me tell you another one. My mother, right? My little cousin Nikki drowned in the bathtub in 1991 because she was in a crack house, man. And my mother was asleep, and she was in her sleep, and the phone rang, and she seen the baby in her sleep in the tub. And when she woke up, the phone was ringing in her sleep. And when she woke up, the phone was ringing. And she said it was the call to tell her that the baby was in the tub. So again, I come from a line of psychics. My mother was born on October 31st. That's All Saints Eve. That's not Halloween. That's All Saints Eve. My Aunt Robin was born on November 1st.
Well, I have a question, right? Can you read people's like what has gone through their life or
You
their
know what I
minds?
can?
You say you're
But for
psychic?
when I to do that shit, I have to have a hand on you. I have to like have one hand on you, and then I can do it. But like sometimes I can do it off a visual and off a vibration, like just a sight. But it's not as easy. But if I could like, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie with Bruce Willis called Sixth Sense.
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it. No.
Oh my goodness, this movie is powerful as hell because it's a real thing. Because he has this power where he can feel pain on people. Listen, I can share so many things that would scare the shit out of you where, like, because I've had homies get killed. And like I should have been there when they got killed, but
Sorry to hear
I was
that.
told to get away from there. Like one of my homies got killed in what it was 99. I was supposed to be at his house that night, but me and my man decided at the last minute to not go there. Like, and I was spared because everybody got shot up in the house. So again, I was spared through suffering to find out that I have these abilities to do these things. And I've been a single father since '02. The baby moms left me. So I've had to raise children by myself. And my mom passed and my father passed, y'all.
I'm
So
sorry to hear
again,
that.
yeah, no doubt, but they're in an etherical realm. They're in a magnetic electrical realm. Because what's inside of you is who you really are. That's why when you go to the hospital, if you're about to pass, they'll put electrical things on your chest and they will shock you with electricity. Why electricity? Because that's what you are. That's what I am. I am electric. My soul is electric and it's eternal. And it's always been here, my man, because I come directly from the primordial source. The oldest water is found in Canada. The oldest soil is found in America. The oldest animals, the oldest bones. Everything is the elder in America. America, Amaruka, Tameri, ancient Egypt. This is the real Egypt. I'm a real Egyptian, fam. King Tut and them niggas, you hear me? That's my peoples. Tutankhamun and them. Yeah. I'm just being real
You
with you.
hung out with them?
Well, I am them. I am him. The him is a song. H-I-M is really H-Y-M-N. That's what the God is. It's a song. It's a frequency, a vibration of light that came from eternal darkness. Because I come from the eternal wonderful darkness, and I am that marvelous light. That's it. My name is Joshua Emmanuel. In scriptures, in ancient texts, my name is the Lord saves and God is with us. Lord God. That's my name. Lord God. My birthday, 2/22. You hear that? Two, two, two.
So did you inspire the Bible or like
Yeah,
any
we
of the
wrote,
religious texts?
the Bible is wrote all about my people. I'm a X-Man. The real cross is an X. I told you that skull and bone shit is, they doing that. That's me. That's me. You see this sign? It look just like it, don't it? Look at it. You've never, no one showed you that before.
Yeah, no. I've also never had someone claim to me that they're God on my life as well.
Well,
So
again,
like,
I'm not claiming to be nothing. I am the primordial power, my blood. My last name is Johnson. Okay? My last name should have been Smith. Johnson and Smith both represent titles of royals, of nobility. Smiths are the builders of Solomon's temple here in America. Solomon's temples are all over ancient America.
wait, I have a question. If you've been around for 300 million years, what was your name 300 million years ago?
Lord God, Joshua Emmanuel. If you go to that Bible, they call this Messiah,
In English?
well, it's Yeshua, or there's different variations,
Yeah,
Yahweh Shai,
I have
Yehoshua,
a question,
Yehoshua,
right?
Yeshua, Yahshua.
Could you speak some of the languages in which, like, could you speak Aramaic or any of
Some
the
little,
languages?
but I don't like to do it because I don't like to do it out because they're powerful and you have to be careful with them. Aramaic, Amharic, Arabic. Yeah, there's different
Yeah,
variations.
would you like to speak
No, I
some?
cannot. I'm not permitted to do that shit like that. I can't do that. Like, I'm not supposed to do that, bro.
Why are you not permitted to do that if
Yeah,
you're
because
God?
you have to do it in it's ritualistic when you profess some of those terms. Like, I don't do it. I'm a high priest.
How is it ritualistic?
Because I have to be in a place of solace, like, and to be quiet and be still. Like, I don't want to say the wrong thing and it cause the wrong vibration on you, my man. Because
So
I know a lot of different terms in different languages. I'm supposed to. I grew up on the streets, though, man.
wait, so
I only went to
if you're
school,
God,
right?
are you all knowing?
Nah, I can't say I'm all knowing, definitely, because God is not all knowing. God is always all learning. God is always learning. And when you say he, God is laughter. That's what he is. When they call God he, and him is a song, and he is laughter. Because that's what God is. It's a song of joy, a song of joyous power. You hear me? Of creation. Now, once again, I could have 1,000 children. I have 10, but they wrote stories about my bloodline. You know how Solomon, they
Wait,
said he
so
had.
you only have 10 children over 300 million years?
No, listen, if you ever read the story of Solomon, right? It said he had how many wives and how many concubines and how many children?
I don't remember.
It's over 1,700 wives, 1,000 children. Like, he had innumerous. Now, me, right? I have 7 baby moms and 10 seeds. But I know somebody with 15 baby moms and 30 children. I know somebody with almost 40 children. Because in America, this is what we do. They only do that shit like that over here in America, man. Because America is the land of good and plenty, the land of Mary. Mary gives you the messiahs.
Well, then why do we have lower fertility rates than like many other countries around the
Well,
world?
who has lower fertility rates? Maybe you. Not my people.
Us in the United States.
Not my folk.
Actually, everyone on average in the United States has a significantly lower fertility rate
Well, again,
comparative to other countries
that's
around the
what
world.
they tell you. I know people right now. My mother always told me I can't even look at a woman and I'll get her pregnant. My seed is so strong, dude. That shit's a fraud.
You
Especially
can get
if
someone pregnant without engaging in intercourse with them?
that's what my mama used to say I could do. And I used to tell her stop saying that shit to me, but she used to say it to me.
Wait, I have a question. How did your mom raise you?
Well, my mother and my father were both militarized, so they were. I was born in an army base.
So I have a question. So you've been reincarnated then, is what you're saying?
Well, no, I came from my mother's womb, but my father put me in my mother, because there is no such thing as a male depicting.
But you've been
gender.
on the earth for 300 million
I
years.
said my
So
bloodline, my ancestral lineage. So if you see me, you're seeing the very same seed as the first seed on this planet from my bloodline. Because that
did you
gender.
experience that or no?
Well, yeah, I'm experiencing it now. This is why I don't eat meat. This is why I stopped laying around with so many different women and putting my seed out. I used to masturbate. All these barbaric teachings. Like, I don't do none of that shit. I don't shoot guns at people no more. I don't sell drugs no more. I don't steal. I don't lie. I don't cheat. I'm a Nazareth. I'm a Nazaretical. I'm Nazarene. So I'm not supposed to do that shit. And I didn't read the Bible to do it. I knew I had to stop doing it. My life was called to do it. So, I mean, I'm just sharing with you what's happening because I'm not the only one that's going through this shit in America.
Did you know Jesus or are you Jesus?
No, I am the bloodline of the Messiahs.
No, but did you know Jesus?
Once again, the letter J replaced the letter X. Okay, the letter J is a fresh letter. They used it to replace the X.
Yeah. Did you know Yeshua?
And I just told you, I am the bloodline of Yeshua. I am Yeshua.
So you were them.
Again, it's a bloodline of people. It's the blood. It's in my blood. My DNA sequence, my genome sequence.
I thought it was but there's an individual whose name was Yeshua, right?
When you say individual, no, it's a people. It's not one person. Hell no. I am part of a conglomerate.
We have very good evidence to believe
No,
that.
come on, man. Don't do that. These people lie about everything. They lie about everything. They told us we came over here on boats.
Wait, then here's my question. If they're lying, then how do I know that you're not lying?
Oh, well, because I'm a living testimony. I don't have to lie.
But they have their living testimonies.
No, they're usurpating. They are usurpating with our story, okay? Because we walk on water. We built gardens on the water. We talk to the animals. We can heal you with herbs. We can heal you with plants.
I have a question. Do you have the ability to walk on water right now?
Yes.
Yes?
Can you go to the
bathroom right now?
Listen, I'm telling you how we did it. We took soil.
No. Can I ask you a question?
I'm telling you.
Can you go to the bathtub? Can you fill up your bathtub with water and then stand on top of the water?
See, again, you're being immature with that statement.
What do you mean? You just claim that you can
walk
on water.
How I will walk on water? I will build a garden on the water. I will build a structure on the water to show you I can walk on water, okay? Because my people are master.
Then you're just walking, but then you're just walking on the structure, not the water.
No, that's for your discernment. Your discernment is at where it's at.
My discernment's pretty clear. Like, if you're walking on the structure, you're not walking on the water. I'm saying walk on water alone.
If I am able to build something on top of water and walk on top of it, I'm walking on water.
Okay, well then I can walk on water too.
Literally.
I've walked on water in my life too, literally.
Well, did you build the structure to walk on the water?
I mean, no, but that doesn't
matter.
Well,
see, that's what makes the Messiah, because when these people from Spain, and like when Hernan Cortez and Christopher Colon misnomered Columbus, when they pulled up Pizarro, all these invaders, when they pulled up and seen us walking on water, it's because we built cities on the water. Have you ever heard of Tenochtitlan?
No, I mean like in a literal sense.
That is literal. That is literal.
No, in like a literal sense.
Venice is a city built on the water.
In terms of this, like you go out into the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and you just like walk on top of no structure.
But see,
just
what
water.
You're doing, right? You're not being truthful. You have to be truthful.
How am I not being truthful?
Because if you want to walk on water, the only logical way to do it is to build a structure on the water.
Okay, so we don't have abilities then.
What
in terms
the hell?
Of particular respects.
I just told you. Go look up the term. The milpa is another planning system that we used that is messianic. The milpa. We planted the Amazon. We are masters, my man. I am a master of the universe. My legal name, because I had a legal name change, it has one of the Superman titles. Because you know how his name's Kal El? El is a Hebraic title. It means the law giver, the lawmaker. So my legal name right now is Ross, because that's an Amharic royal title. Ross El Ayasu, Emmanuel, Tafari El Bey. So I'm Superman for real, my G. And I can fly. And I can walk on water. My people gave you your plane. We made light. We invented light. Lewis Lattimore, he gave you the real light bulb. It wasn't the other guy. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't anyone else? No one else?
Go look up Lewis Lattimore. That's the person who really gave you your light bulb. Spark plugs, steam engines, toilets, boats, everything, our people, so-called black Americans. This is why I say we're a Messiah, because we have gave you things right now that have allowed your people to live longer, to live stronger, to live wiser. And it's our people. This is why they did this shit to us. This is why they do this shit to the police, with the police to us. They put these drugs out here over to us. They do this school
So what we're
educational shit
doing
with
is we're
us.
using things that do unjustly treat individuals in America based on the community in which they're part of. Absolutely agree with those, but we're using that to then justify things in which we don't have evidence for. Right? And I don't think that we have
Look,
evidence
I'm
for
the
the
walking
broader stuff
evidence,
you were
man.
saying
I'm a
prior.
walking Akashic record. I'm a walking artifact. You see my phenotype? Look, I just had hair past my bottom, right? I'm regrowing it now. Because this hair right here, this represents a satellite. This is a crown. I scan my environment with my hair. HAIR is the same as HEIR. It shows my royal connection too. Because they hide the truth in front of you with these words. HAIR shows you that I'm an HEIR. An heir to what? A royal vast estate that belongs to the children of the sun. Because this thing on my head, when I pick it out with my comb, it's in a perfect ball, right? 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 It is. Now don't tell us it's called an afro, but I don't come from Africa. And it's not called a fro. I don't wander to and fro. So I don't have a fro. And I'm not from Africa or Africa. Skip rocks. What it's called is the indigenous term from the Chifuncta tribe out of Louisiana is Apache, because it's a tree. I'm a walking tree. I look like a tree too. Now your hair, right? Because I got sons with your hair. I have a son, 2 sons with hair like that. Your hair can get thicker if you don't use these chemicals. If you use all natural fruits and herbs to clean your hair, it gets thicker. If you get sun, your hair gets thicker. If you don't put this hard ass water in your hair gets thicker. Because I raised my sons without their mothers, dude. I know, and I've watched it. I told you I got a son. I got a son in college. I got 2 sons in college. I got a daughter in college. So you're in college. You remind me of one of my sons. And when I seen you the first time in your streams, I wanted to do this with you because I listened to you and you're very intelligent. But it's time for you and everybody across this planet to pay homage to us, because so-called black Americans, we are the primordial race. We are the most advanced civilization on this planet. When they talk about Tartarians, Anunnakis, Ottoman Empire, any of those Atlanteans, those are our people, dude. They are. We're the real ones, man. This is why we got people like Tiger Woods and people like Jesse Owens
Yeah,
who did. I'm just keeping it hundreds.
I have a question. You believe the Anunnaki exist?
I don't believe nothing, because to believe is to be a lie. I don't believe shit.
Do you believe that you exist?
I know that I am an ancient Nagas, the Nagas.
Do you believe that you exist?
Well, look at the word exist. To exist is just to be eternal light. The X is eternal. It's the north, the south, the east, the west, the earth, the wind, the water, the fire, the myth.
Okay, chat. I've had enough. I've had enough, chat. Okay, I've had enough. I don't know what's going on, chat. I don't know. It's too fucking early for some of the shit. I don't even know what just happened, everyone. That was a first on the stream. We had God show up on the live, everyone. That was definitely a first for the stream. We had God come on the live. I'm definitely gonna make sure to write that down on my calendar, everyone. To see that you did miss it. Yep, you definitely missed it for sure. We're gonna go on to the next person. If you consider yourself psychic, send a guest request right now. I don't know if I'll hit a restart because I don't know if people actually are sending a request based upon whether or not they consider themselves psychic. But we're gonna go on to the next person. Everyone, only send a guest request if you do consider yourself psychic, y'all. We are just looking for some conversations associated with that, y'all. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 25.
For sure. Do you consider yourself psychic?
Kind of, I guess. I think we all are to some degree.
So how do you know so?
Well, this is crazy because I did not expect to get on here. Is Say your question again.
How do you know that you are psychic?
I think that we are all energy. I was listening to the other guy. Definitely agree with him to some degree, but what I was actually going to say to you was that you should be aware when somebody is having a psychological break. Just make sure you know who you're talking to. Sometimes people are a little extra on here, and they might be not necessarily all with it at the moment. People have
It also can be problematic to go around assuming people are like manic.
it
I
could
would
be,
say is that like
sure.
I don't know when to necessarily. I mean, maybe there could be a point that we could say that like that would apply. I don't know when to apply that though in all cases though. So I mean that can just have problematic implications. Is that's kind of thought about stuff like that in the past where
So
people
how do
have come
you
on.
discern then?
It's really hard to know because I might think that what someone's saying is like a bit ridiculous or might be a bit outlandish, but I don't think that necessarily to me would indicate that they would be that way. So I think it would have to be like I don't know what standard I would use to determine that. Like, do you know what I'm saying there? Like, I don't. I've thought about it many times in the past. I don't know where I could be like, this is too much. Maybe like it'd be just like an intuition or something. I just like I don't really see otherwise like how it would be.
Okay,
But
cool. Let's
maybe
get to the
there's a
topic.
line that needs to be. Yeah, go ahead.
Listen, Parker, I've been watching you for a while now. I am going to tell you a few things about yourself, but I think that when it comes to being psychic, I don't know what you mean when you say that. I think that everybody has a little bit of intuition inside of them. Like you, I was also raised very, very religious. I I feel like you're a truth seeker, right? So there are things that you know to be true, and there are things that we know through science that are completely true at the same time. But there's not a line, there's not a defined line when it comes to that. You definitely want to know what is real and what's not real. But listen, everything is anecdotal. The only thing, the only way that you're going to learn what is is through like experiencing life. There's
Some proofs are non-anecdotal. Like for example, right, we have like rational proofs. There are also like empirical proofs that aren't necessarily just based on anecdotal notions, right? As anecdotal notions aren't something that we could use to justify to other individuals, right? It'd be something that just it's specific to us. So that's why we rely upon different types of experience based knowledge, like reproducing of
okay,
evidence and stuff like
listen,
that.
listen. What I'm trying to say here is the reason why you do these lives is because you want to know what's true and what's not. It's and we all want that. That's everybody in this live is trying to figure out what the fuck is what, right? You're younger than me. I'm 25, right? But that doesn't mean that I know everything. I what I'm trying to say here is I don't know. I hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay. Parker,
Yeah, what's up?
something hurt you in the past. I don't know what it was, and it made you turn your back from God, whatever or whatever you believe to be God, right? Everything is okay. You've heard of Scientology.
Yeah, I've heard of Scientology. Thank you for the head mustache. I appreciate it. But it also is the case. I didn't get hurt in terms of leaving from God. I just can't rationalize a God's existence.
Something happened though. to make you be like, what the fuck? Like, obviously, this is not a real thing. People told me this, and this is why I believe this. But, like, why? Right? Something hit you
For me,
like
it was
that.
like the argumentation, not really the experience.
For me personally, I was raised in an evangelical Christian thing. I definitely believe that it is like a cult, and I can get where you're coming from, I feel like, but at the same time, I feel like it's important for you to know that science and emotions, belief, they mix together. It definitely has to do with the way that you have experienced your life. And this goes for everybody, everybody listening, everybody in the chat. You need to know that as you grow and as you learn, you're going to figure it out. It's good that you're doing these lives because you get different perspectives, right? But take everything with a grain of salt. And I'm sure you do. I'm sure you already know that.
Absolutely, I always do. Is there anything else you specifically see, particularly?
No. No, I don't think so. Not
For
not
sure.
right now
Well,
for you.
I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much. It was great talking to you. Have a
Bye,
fantastic
Parker.
day. All right, we're going to go to the next person. If you consider yourself psychic, make sure to send a guest request right now. Tap that screen, everyone. Let's try to get to 250,000 likes. We're going to go on to the next person. Again, only send a guest request if you consider yourself psychic, y'all. Share the live, everyone. Copy link, send it to a few friends. We'll help get it out to more people, y'all. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Oh, I am well above the age of you, my
For sure.
friend.
Do you consider yourself psychic?
Psychic, no. That's the terminology for the trendsetters, which you find on TikTok all over the place. I just showed up. But hold on real fast, I can't hear you that well. Let me turn this down. I was watching Ghost Rider.
Yeah. So if you don't
Zombie out
consider
there
yourself
before.
psychic, do you do
Oh,
tarot
yeah.
or?
So I was going to clarify psychic, the idea, the trend set, and other things. Really, it's about the hype, right? Let's talk about something that's kind of triggering to the statement because so many people have been awoken to some arraignment inside their own orifices, right? Now, the word psychic and the ideas of what you're trying to pull is Sendunning in some sense. I saw it on YouTube. Actually, you're kind of like a reincarnation of the old man. You just don't have the facial structure. That's one thing. You have this old soul, right, on deep end of everything. Outside of all that stuff, no, I'm not psychic. I decided to ask for something and I got it. Something about the ideas of what you say, like you challenge the authority, if you will, and then I got my answer. But psychic, I'm not sure. I definitely help people through on a certain arraignment of
Yeah.
things.
So what do you like see specifically with me?
I'm sorry?
So what did you say you see specifically with me?
Nothing whatsoever,
You,
my
you don't
friend.
see it? Okay, so I am just gonna look for people who do consider themselves psychic, but I appreciate you
Oh,
coming
yeah.
on. All right, we're gonna go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do consider yourself psychic. I was confused. I thought he was saying that he just doesn't consider himself that, but he actually does. Like, I was kind of confused. We're gonna go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you consider yourself psychic, y'all. We are just looking for some conversations with y'all. Let's go to the next person. Again, only send a guest request if you do consider yourself psychic, everyone. We're going to the next person, everyone. If you want to help get out to more people as well, copy link, send it to a few friends, everyone. But let's go to the next person. It just takes a second in between to get people up here. We're going to get someone up here associated with the topic. Give it a second, y'all. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? Yeah, for sure. How old are you, by the way? Okay, they just left. All right, we're going to go to the next person. Again, only send a guest request if you do consider yourself psychic, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Oh, geez, 43.
For sure. Do you consider yourself psychic?
Well, I guess. Let's go for it. Why not?
For sure. Why so?
Depends on the question. You can't ask me if I'm psychic when I'm telling you I'm psychic.
Well, I no, I'm just asking you how do you know?
Ask me a question.
Okay. Like ask like a specific question, like in what
I
scenario?
should be able to answer it correctly, is my point. I'm playing along
Okay.
here.
What's my birthday?
86.
All right, we're gonna go to the next person. Everyone, only send a guest request if you legitimately consider yourself psychic, y'all. We are just looking for some conversations. Tap the screen in the meantime. Let's try to get to 250,000 likes, y'all. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
36.
For sure. Do you consider yourself psychic?
Yes,
Why so?
because I could tell the future.
What can you tell about the future?
In the end, we all unalive. No, sorry about that, man. I really enjoy your live. I just wanted to get up on here
Appreciate it,
and say
man.
it.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you consider yourself psychic, y'all. Share the live, everyone. Let's try to get to 500 shares, y'all. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Do
How are you doing? I'm 28.
you consider yourself psychic?
I do. So I run a psychic establishment downtown Pittsburgh. Have people come through. I give them reads. I give them very specific information, like it's crazy.
For sure. Is there something that you could show us here on live, particularly to like exhibit these characteristics?
Yeah. So I usually start by saying, "How big is your penis?" And then we go from there. And
Okay, we're just gonna go to the next person, chat. Only send a guest request if you consider yourself psychic. Only send a guest request if you consider yourself psychic, yo. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Trolling, I did not mean to do it.
You're good. Don't worry. You're good. All right, let's go to the next person again. Only send a guest request if you consider yourself psychic, y'all. That was a wild claim to ask. That was a wild ask. That was wild. Someone, are you really saying answer the question? That is wild. Chat is wild. Yo, yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 24.
For sure. Do you consider yourself psychic?
Yes, but I don't know that I'd be able to prove it necessarily. So the psychic that I am necessarily is like I've had dreams, right? And then had the dreams like happen like later on in life exactly like how I dream them, which
So my
is just
question, my answer for something like this would be that like our dreams are kind of like predicated off of our experiences. So for us to kind of like see things in our dreams that are associated with our experiences kind of makes sense there. So like I mean, if you don't necessarily see a way in which you could like prove it or like or readings or something like are you just gonna relate to like a story or something? Is that what you're saying?
well, yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily a psychic. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm asking like
Oh, okay, for
basically
sure. Well, yeah, I am just gonna look for people who consider themselves psychic, but I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much.
later.
All right, let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do consider yourself psychic, y'all. Share the live, everyone. Let's try to get to 500 shares, y'all.
Oh, hey. So I'm actually Gabby House of Lotus. I do consider myself psychic, I guess, or intuitive per se. So psychic could be many things. And I think that's what a lot of people are actually confused about. So you have some people who are actually clairvoyant, which means like they clearly know things. Clairsentience, which is one of my stronger gifts. I'm very good at like feeling things. You also have claircognizance, which is clear knowing as well. Clairgusto, which is like where you can taste something based off of maybe being around someone. And this could also be like someone who passed away. You also have mediumship. So there's like a lot of types of psychic. So there's not, I guess, necessarily one pool of it. So I wouldn't just kind of like relay it to one thing, but I can tell you about my personal experiences. I do read tarot. I've actually done pendulum. Like I said, I'm very good as far as like sometimes seeing things, like if spirit like kind of allows me to see those things or if it's like meant to share. I have had experiences where I was actually with someone and I was able to literally pick up off of their feelings. A prime example of that would be I was like in a meeting with this girl and she was sitting next to me and I had like an overwhelming feeling like that I just wanted to start crying. I wasn't sure why because I hadn't had anything going on in my life that was traumatic to the point where I just wanted to cry. And like like not even 2 minutes later, the girl next to me, she just started weeping really bad. And I think like she actually stood up and she spoke about her feelings. And I think at the time I was still like learning like my abilities or like my gifts per se, because we don't know everything, even as like psychics. I think the misconception is that psychics know everything. It's not. I think it's always like a learning experience because we're always like really journeying. But again, like she stood up, she stated that her ex-fiance passed away, and I don't know why something in the meeting triggered that, so she just started like weeping. And that was just like one experience, but like I said, I have had experiences where sometimes mediumship is not my strongest gift, but I think it's just out of the fear of, I guess, like actually dealing with people who are not here on this plane. But I have had experiences to where I've actually been shown like visions of like people who have like passed away. I've actually been shown instances where I guess like they've tried to communicate with me in the way that they pass. Sometimes like they share personal experiences with you, or feelings, because most of the time like they're not vocal in a way where they're talking kind of like how I'm talking to you right now, but they may show you like little clips or little snippets of it, of what happened to them. So yeah, those are like some of my experiences. And I think I was getting really annoyed earlier when like everybody was like on the live and they were talking about everything that wasn't related to it, because psychic, again, like it's not one specific thing, like it's a broad spectrum of different things. Do I think that I'm not the only person? I would say that I feel this like psychic. I do feel as though we all have the ability to develop those gifts. Some people are naturally born psychic, so they're naturally born like knowing things. They're naturally born like clairvoyant. Some children, not even just children, but adults, as they grow older, I'm sorry, like they just have the gift of just seeing visions. And that's like something that I personally experienced. I think I've also experienced like where a lot of people, like they talk about, and I think like the issue with people awakening their gifts is fear. Because like for me, my fear of mediumship is that sometimes I'm seeing these images or I'm seeing these people or I'm like being shown these things. And it's like the fear that, oh my God, is this real? And I think that kind of like scares me in a way, because it could go so much more deeper than that, like once you actually tap into it. But I personally think that we are all like psychic. We all have the ability to develop gifts if you're not born with them. I think like most people, they have like tarot classes for tarot to help you develop your intuition. And all of it is literally just you kind of like trusting in like your psychic senses. Like we as humans, I guess like the human designs, like we have built in like antennas to actually help us, I guess, psychically know things. Like our body system, like I guess like intuitively knows what to do. Like when we're thirsty, it says, okay, well, you need to drink water, or we know that we need to do certain things. I personally think, Parker, that you have like, and this is just me kind of like channeling in, which I do sometimes, but I do think that you're very intuitive. So a lot of the people who are on here, they were tapping into that a lot. But you are someone, I feel as though you're intuitive in a way. It's like, I think the one girl said that you naturally kind of like pick up on things, or you like kind of like know things. And I do think like that's who you truly are. I feel as though, and this is just my feelings, or clairsentience, and I'm just kind of like trying to relate it to like my feelings.
Oh,
So it's like you could learn. I'm sorry.
I thought it was lagging for a second. I think you're good now.
Oh, it might be lagging because and I'm on 3%. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine now. Don't worry.
But yeah, I do feel like you're someone who's very intuitive in a way, but you probably get bored. Like I feel as though you could possibly get bored with things so quickly. You are someone, I think that one guy talked about like the Akashic records. We all have the ability to tap into our Akashic records, but sometimes like it doesn't awaken, or that gift doesn't awaken, depending on where we are in our journey. Because for some people, certain things are very scary to them. Like some people could see a shadow in the room and they don't want to see shit else. Like I know we can curse on here, but they don't want to see anything else. Like they see a shadow. Some people have experiences like where, oh, I had a dream of like my dead grandmother, or like my ex-boyfriend, and it's like like those things scare them. So if they have those experiences, those are mediumship abilities. But like if they're having those experiences and they're scared of them, then sometimes like those spirits may not want to interact with them moving on like in the future, because like they know that they're not ready for those gifts. So now I'm like doing a lot of talking, but yeah, I just kind of like wanted to touch bases like on that. But I don't know, another thing is I don't like talking about people's relationships or anything like that unless you like give me permission to do so. And another thing, like when it comes to psychic abilities, and this is like for anybody or like tarot, you should always like ask permission before like diving into somebody's like personal life. It's kind of like the law of like spirituality or whatever, but you're never supposed to, it's like knock before entering type of thing. Because sometimes like for some of you guys who are on here, you may have like intuitive abilities, but sometimes you don't want to like, I guess like step into or open up a door you're not ready to open up. So again, like once you guys open up that door to spirit, just like now I'm like talking to you guys about it, so some of you guys like may become more consciously aware, but like once you open up that door, like it literally starts flooding in on you. And I personally, like when I was younger, I'm like older now, probably older than you, Parker, but when I was like younger, I remember I was like really spiritually sick in a way where, you know, it's like I couldn't get out of bed because I was having all of these experiences. I was seeing like entities, I was seeing like spirits and stuff. I was hearing like voices, or, you know, like, which is clairaudience. So like when you actually can hear things, that's considered like clairaudience. But yeah, I was actually like hearing messages and everything. And I wasn't aware of it because another thing is as well, it could have kind of like goes into spirituality, which I don't like talking about, or I'm sorry, religion, which I don't like talking about often. But sometimes like if you are in a household with parents who are like strictly, you know, whatever their spirituality is, and you're talking to them about all these experiences that you're having and they're not open to it, I think like as you kind of grow older, you know, it's kind of, and it's very taboo, that kind of like blocks your gifts as well. So I personally was in a household where like my mother, you know, it was like, oh, you need medicine, you must be crazy, on this other stuff. But it was like as I grew older, and I guess like my soul tribe began to like find me, or like people, like-minded people who understood what I was talking about, began to find me. I started to understand exactly, okay, so I was hearing this, so this is what this is, you know, if you're going to put labels on it, but, you know, or I'm seeing things, this is what this is. But also like just learning, I think my most important thing was like learning to kind of like tap into like my intuitive feelings. So exactly like what it is that I'm feeling when I'm with or around people. But yeah, I just kind of like wanted to like jump in, I guess, share it with you, but I'm like on 2% now. But I hope that that provided some clarity with you guys, but I would
For
definitely say
sure.
it's a topic for you guys to dive a little bit on.
Oh, for sure. I guess I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much. Have a good day. All right, we're gonna go to the next person. If you consider yourself psychic, make sure to send a guest request right now. Please do so if you want to prove to me that you consider yourself psychic, y'all. We're gonna go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you want to prove to me that you're psychic, y'all, by the way. Yeah, no, I thought we were gonna get into something there, to be honest. But yeah, we're gonna go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do consider yourself psychic, y'all. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 56. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, for sure. Do you consider yourself psychic?
Aye. Well, first of all, the last gal that was talking, she was on Johnny on it about a lot of that, where there is a certain ethic where you don't just voluntarily go up and start reading people. You try to, I mean, it's hard. You pick up on things all the time, but it's just like you wouldn't go walking into someone's house without knocking, right? That's kind of how that works with the psychic thing. And sometimes it's hard. You got to separate your ego from this. But I'm 56. I've had these gifts since I was a little girl. They've just grown as I've grown, developed, and it's like a muscle. You got to use it for it to stay, you know. But yes, I've had a lot. I was grew up with two parents that were very skeptical, so I didn't have a lot of support. However, as I've gotten older, things develop on their own time, and that's why, like kids that are shut off from that are born into these religious families, which no, nothing wrong with that, but they try to suppress that, and then you think you're crazy. People used to tell me I was talking to the devil or it's demonic, and I'm like, why would a god, whatever, why would they do that to you? That doesn't make sense. There's a lot of superstition, and I
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So. By the way, what particularly indicates to you that you are psychic?
I know things, and it's not like I could crack the code for the, whatever. It's just a
Y-
knowing. It's
Is
hard
there
to.
something that you could show us, particularly here on the live?
To be honest with you, that's an okay question to ask, but I don't perform well when I'm being put on the spot. And I realized I walked into this and we were talking. I'm a medium. Here's what I was gonna say. I only know what I know. I only know what I've experienced. So, and I find I prefer the dead over the dead people over the living. Sometimes they're much more understanding. It's just a different. Anywho, I'm all over the place here, but what are the other good ones? I smell, I hear, I feel, I see. I'm clairvoyant.
Is there something that you could show us here, particularly on the live?
Show you. Okay, now another thing is we're not always 100%. No one's ever 100% all the time, and I'm a little intimidated because I'm on live, but I'll give it my best shot. Okay. So take it for what it's worth. If you can keep a little bit of an open mind, because I know when I've tried reading people, but they're kind of challenging me because they don't believe. It's like a doorway that I can't get through to give. You know what I mean, kind of. So I'll do the best I can. Is there someone you want me to connect with who's passed?
We could go with my grandfather.
Your grandfather? Okay. Was he a big guy?
Like
Was he a big?
tall?
Well, he was just a big person, you know. I see him wearing plaid, red and black I can't talk. Red and black flannel. I see him in overalls for some reason. Was he a hunter? Did he go out and hunt, deer, yada yada?
Not really, not to my knowledge particularly.
But
He
I see
wasn't
him.
really into
Was
that.
he a bigger man or larger than life, so to speak?
He was 6'2", but he was relatively like skinny. He had like a large stomach that was kind of like
Okay,
a
well
pillow.
maybe that's sometimes things come in sideways, so bear with me on that. Did he have a beard? I see him very gray with a beard.
No.
Oh wow, okay, there we go. See, I just see this person in like a cabin type setting with a walking stick. Maybe it's somebody else. Did he wear glasses? Like
Yep.
rimless glasses, you know what I mean? Like where they don't have, like aviators have, there's no rim on them. It's just,
I'm pretty sure he did wear ones with they were like the ones that like look older, like the classic kind of older person
okay.
glasses.
And then some, people could argue, well, he's older, he probably has glasses. And so, I mean, I realized that, and that's like I said, did I see him in a cabin type of a place? Did he have a cabin somewhere, or he liked the outdoors? Because that's what I'm seeing.
He would like fishing.
I'm like, okay. I see a dog too. Is there a dog, like a light brown chocolate lab colored dog?
Not to my knowledge. I don't think my mom had a dog or anything as a kid or anything.
Okay, but I mean, okay. See, that's what's embarrassing is I know I can do this, but I'm very self-conscious when I'm talking live, especially to all these people that are listening. So I can't be very credible here, but I'm being honest. I don't claim to have everything all the time, but I have a lot of synchronicities that happen on a daily basis. I joke with my family. It's like, to live in my head some days. Things fall around on my house. After my father passed, I said, well, I'm kind of missing you. Could you show me some sign that you're there? I made the mistake of saying anything big or small, it doesn't matter. One night I woke up I was awake still, and I thought I heard someone in the hallway of my apartment getting beat up. So I get up, and I'm like, as I get out of my bed and walking out of my bedroom, it got louder and louder, and it started to sound like someone was having some kind of wild sex in my living room because it's just amplified. So there's nobody in my living room, no one's in my house. Well, then I go to look at my stereo. It's on Bluetooth for some reason because I didn't have it on, and it's cranked. I didn't turn my stereo on. I was in the bedroom doing my old lady thing at 9:00 at night or whatever. So things like that, but no one's there to see it or hear it besides me. So I like,
Yeah, don't worry about that. Like I understand how it could be.
yeah.
Yeah, I do appreciate you coming on though. Thank you for coming on. It was good
Okay,
talking to you.
thanks so much, Parker.
Have a fantastic day. All right, we're going to go on to the next person. If you consider yourself psychic, make sure to send a guest request right now. Again, only send a guest request if you do consider yourself psychic, everyone. We're going to go on to the next person. We've only been on for just a little bit, everyone. Keep tapping that screen. Let's try to get to 500,000 likes, y'all. Yo, what's up? Do you consider yourself psychic?
Yeah. So.
How old are you, by the way?
I'm 24.
For sure. Why do you consider yourself psychic?
So I read some government documents, and the term they use is remote viewing. They say that everyone has the ability. I see it kind of like Harry Potter, where you really have to practice and study a lot.
Oh,
To
those things were inconclusive.
well, I yeah, that's the thing. When they came out with it, most people didn't believe them, but I think that
No, no,
we,
the things they did on viewing were inconclusive.
I, I would argue against it. But there's lots of information out
What
there.
if your source is the documents? Then the documents are inconclusive. Then how
Well,
can you
well,
say you're not
well,
inconclusive?
I also do tarot and have psychic experience, and like most people, it happens when
Sure.
you're
Is there
not
something you
trying to
could
do it.
show us here on live?
Yeah, I went on live yesterday actually, and I asked the guy to think of a number between 1 and 100, and I guessed it right once, not the second time. So I want to try that again.
Was this Dean?
Yeah,
Oh, the Parker clone? Yeah. So, go ahead if you'd like to do it again.
yeah. So it's way easier if you focus on the number and you try to project it out, like into your aura, maybe like 3 feet. That way I can.
Okay, I just wrote it down and now I'm projecting it.
I see 37 and 43. What'd you get? I can't see that.
69.
Wow. All right. Well, nice try. Thank you.
For sure, man. Appreciate you coming on. Have a good day.
All right.
All right, we're going to go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do consider yourself psychic. Tap that screen, everyone. In the meantime, let's try to get to 500,000 likes, y'all. Parker, you are the Dean clone. Be for real, so real. People actually think that now. It's actually unbelievable. Not the 69. Yo, Chad. Please, please. Yo, thank you for the glowing jellyfish. I appreciate it, Velvet. Thank you so much. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 31.
For
I'm
sure.
30 actually.
For sure. Do you consider yourself psychic?
Yeah.
Oh, why so?
Well, I think inherently everybody is psychic, but I feel like the definition of what psychic is kind of skewed by society in general. There's a lot of like instances of people like having like intuition and empathy and stuff like that, and it's kind of like that sensation that we can't really put a finger on, but we still acknowledge as like a daily or a very realistic part of the human experience. Um, there's like a lot of different studies and stuff like that as well that show different results through different methods, depending on what kind of psychic ability, what kind of psychic phenomena that you're referencing. I feel like one of the more credible I'm sorry, one of the more credible studies that have been done is probably by like Robert Monroe, because
No, I'm asking why do you consider yourself psychic? Right.
because it's kind of complicated. So I'm able to tap into certain energies and I'm able to aid people, I guess, in a way. Kind of get like different reads on them depending, I guess, the circumstances, depending on how open they are.
Is
And
there
I've
anything you
had,
could show us here today?
sure. Have you ever had a tarot reading before?
Yes, I have.
Okay, I can probably, I guess, demonstrate that.
For sure.
Do you have like a question that you were curious about or something you wanted to find out?
People generally ask about like career or love life, stuff like that.
Okay, cool. So like, do you have like a specific area that you want to find out about or like,
We could do the love life. We'll start off with that one today.
okay, cool. So then do you want something, I guess, like upcoming or like something from the past that you want to find out or?
Nothing particularly, just like a general in relation to that.
Okay, cool. I guess I'll pull like a couple cards and see what comes up.
For sure.
All right, just give me a couple seconds. I'm shuffling. So I could be wrong, but it seems like you might have an interest in somebody who's a little bit more on the affluent side, somebody who's actually more abundant and actually has like that aspect of them taken care of. Um, it seems like as well like you want somebody who's actually able to stand up and kind of fight for what they believe in, pretty strong, like sense of justice and morality. Um, no, they're kind of generic, but I'm kind of pulling cards and seeing what I get. You kind of want somebody who is a little bit more straightforward in certain aspects, a little bit more adventurous. Um, kind of willing to take lead in certain ways. It seems like you might have had, like, I guess, a lot of prior issues when it comes to love, like a lot of stressful situations and things that kind of put you in, I guess, like kind of like a bind or like really burdensome, I guess, experiences. But it seems, I guess, from what I'm seeing at least, that you might be turning over a new cycle and that things might be changing for the better soon, if you're opening yourself up to that kind of energy. It seems like you've had like a lot of prior disappointments, with the Four of Cups coming out. That shows like, it's been kind of one of those things where you want to kind of entertain it, but you're kind of like, is it really worth it? Like you're still trying to figure certain things out in certain aspects, it seems. Um, it's not exactly like you haven't had experiences, but it's kind of like, those experiences might not have given you like the fulfillment that you're looking for. You're kind of like, is that really it out of love? Like, is there anything deeper? Um, and then I guess with the Knight of Pentacles kind of closing off the reading, I feel like you really want somebody who is able to, of course, as anybody would, stand the test of time. But I feel like being in a certain kind of social status, not social status, but having a certain kind of lifestyle is important because I feel like that does, of course, lead to other things. But that's what I see coming through the reading pretty strong.
For sure, for sure. Is there anything else you want to look at or you see?
I mean, I can keep on pulling cards and see what comes up. It's up to you, I guess. I don't know if
Yeah.
anything's like resonating or.
I nothing particularly, I would say. Yeah, of course I would look for someone that has like a sense of like justice and morality and like cares about things, has like strict standards when it relates to that. And like, yeah, someone who's like adventurous and like straightforward, like it's easier to like determine what's going on in their head. I would consider those generally like pretty vague or basic though, in terms of like things that everyone would look for.
No, yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I guess it's kind of like, what do you really want that nobody else really has out of this world? Like, it's kind of hard to describe something that nobody really has. Like anything that a psychic or anybody is going to give you, it's all advice that we all have access to, or it's all something that is in this mortal plane. I think it's a lot more romanticized to be like this crazy thing, which it can be on certain levels, but it's not exactly how that works, as we are all creatures of free will. And timelines do change based on our decisions and our actions.
Yeah, absolutely. What else are you seeing here?
Do you want more of like, I guess, a relationship kind of?
We
Or
could do like career, or we could do like just a general one.
okay, cool. I guess I'll pull, I guess, some general cards then.
Or some people said past actually.
I mean, that's cool. I appreciate the time. So I'm sorry, did you want me to continue pulling cards or
Oh
pass?
yeah, no. I'm saying past. Like people were asking,
Oh, like
present,
pass.
past, future.
Oh, my bad. I think you said pass. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I can leave.
Oh no, I didn't mean it that way. No, I didn't mean that. No.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna pull a couple cards from the past then.
Okay, for sure.
So the first card I have coming out is a magician. The magician usually is somebody who's extremely skilled, extremely knowledgeable, extremely good at what they do. So it seems as if like you're kind of one of those people who, for some people, might have found difficulties in order to achieve results or like learn things or do things. It seems like a lot of things that you learned early in your past kind of came naturally to you. Like you kind of picked up on things fast. You kind of put things together really quick. Like you are always able to become very proficient and skilled in certain tasks that you picked up on. Like you never really struggled in that end. It seems as if you have a lot of, I guess, really, I mean, this is generic, of course, but close bonds and relationships, and that you truly do cherish them. Like a lot of people kind of take certain things for granted, but it doesn't seem like you would take those friendships and those connections that you have for granted. Like you truly cherish and try to, uplift people. It seems like off camera, you might be like a little bit more of like a jubilant, kind of like upbeat person, whereas a lot of people don't really see that. The Queen of Wands itself is like a really high, vibrant, like energy card. Um, let's see what else comes out. It seems like, of course, as most people do on this earthly plane, it seems like you have like a lot of different goals that you're kind of like working towards. You're like planning for things. It's like you're kind of like longing for something, I guess, that you might not have yet. Trying to see if, I guess, I don't know, try to see if there's more out there. It's like you're kind of like searching in a way, like you're yearning for something, but you can't really put your finger on it. And it seems like you've been like in this kind of period of isolation in certain regards, trying to, I guess, find that. Um,
Sure, yeah. I think I'm pretty goal oriented. I was just trying to like find my goals for a very long time. I didn't really find out what I wanted to do until like the past few years or so. In terms of like you saying, is there anything deeper? All right, that's definitely something that could definitely apply, and like picking up on things easily. That's generally something that would also apply to my life. It just depends on what it is. Some things I obviously don't pick up very easily, but
yeah, I mean, naturally, I mean, we all have like our things where we're better and not, but um, I feel like a lot of what I'm picking up on is kind of generic, but it's kind of, I guess, how these things kind of go. Um, I can keep on going, I guess, if you'd like. I don't really
for sure we could end out on future here particularly, if you'd like
All
to
right,
look
cool.
into that.
So let's see where you're headed, I guess. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people misunderstand like tarot readings and psychics and stuff like that. It's kind of like a weather reading. It's like we read the energy and give you like a trajectory of like where things are headed. We can't really tell you where things are going to because the future's in your hands. But from what I'm seeing, it seems like you're definitely stepping into like a lot of abundance, maybe like a lot of family connections, maybe like friendships, maybe even potentially a relationship. It seems like you're about to like start a very so I got death and rebirth, and death and rebirth usually means that you're about to start like a brand new cycle in your life. Like something big is going to like turn over and start a new aspect of yourself. Um, and then I guess lastly, I see like the devil, and the devil is usually one of those cards that shows up when you're feeling like restricted, like you're feeling kind of chained down in a way, and you kind of want to break free from certain like energies that are kind of like binding you to what you're experiencing. You kind of like want to break free, so to speak. And I see Page of Wands that you might be going into something new that, of course, requires you to learn, but something that you kind of want to pick up on and to study, I guess.
For sure. I mean, I did just get into a relationship, so maybe you got that from there. But like, yeah, I definitely do appreciate you coming on. It was good talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Have a great day. All right, everyone, we're going to go on to the next person. Keep tapping that screen. Let's try to get to 500,000 likes. Everyone keep sharing the live. Let's try to get to 1,000 shares. Copy link, send it to a few friends. We're going to be going to Tommy. Tommy came on yesterday. I think he also wants to address something here today, so we're probably going to run this up here again. What's up, Tommy? It's good to see you again.
Dude, it is so good to see you again. Can you turn on my camera or do I have to do it? There it is.
Yeah, I got you. I can send you an invite. Oh, you got it.
There you go. I got it. Figured it out. Hey, dude. Thanks for having me back. I appreciate you.
Good to see you again. What do you got for us today?
So, I want to go over like a couple things, I guess, with the whole psychic. Obviously, I'm going to give you a couple reads, but I've had less coffee today, so hopefully I can speak a little bit slower. I was tired before, and then I just chugged my coffee. Whatever. Long story. I wanted to go over. First of all, there was a girl that her battery was kind of running out. She's got it, man. She just needs to refine her gift. A lot of people got this gift, like they're saying, but their gift's not refined. Just like anything, some people can be an artist, some people can paint, some people could dance, but they're not great at it in the beginning. By refining their gift and working on it, eventually they tap into their spirits, they tap into their self, and then from there they're able to deliver fantastic messages. But some people, they just like a kind of like a kid, I guess, is just gonna bite off more than they can chew. And that's when you get the people that are kind of like, what are you talking about? Where are you going? Like, what am I supposed to get from you? It's just they're pulling in too much. Okay. So specifically what I want to talk about is what is a reading. Some people don't know what it is. They think a reading is someone's going to come to you, tell you your future, tell you what's going to happen. And that's true. You're going to get that in a reading. But really what you're going to get is decisions and choices. Readings are all about making decisions and making choices to manifest the future that you want the most for yourself, rather than, hey, go left because this is going to happen. Your decision is really, you can tell that reader, screw you, I'm going right. By going right, you're going to change your future. So what I do and where I find my power is working within the now and the present, okay? Making your decisions now and letting you know the outcome of your own decisions. If you choose to change your mind after that, that's your deal, all right? And I'm totally okay with that. Just know that you're altering your future, just like any choice, right? So there's plenty readers out there. There's tarot readers, there's rune readers, there's psychic mediums. How they deliver their message really is, I'm going to say, from my opinion, is based off of their tool. Tools are tarot cards, runes, like I was saying before. It's like cars. We're all on the same highway. We're all driving on the 101 freeway. We're going down the same road. But the person that's driving the Ferrari is going to act different, is going to behave different, feel different next to the other person that's happy in their Kia. You see what I'm saying? But we're going down the same road. So nobody's wrong, all right? They're all great. Are there some better than others? Yes. Why? Just because they practice more. They do it more. I think I have my gift pretty down, right? I'm pretty confident with where I stand and how I work with my tools. So that's why I'm happy to come on here. I'm happy to read for you guys. Come check me out, Parker. Call me psychic, but I say you live next to my store. You're not that far. So I think you should come down. It's in North Hollywood, the Green Man store. Check us out, okay? Get a reading with me. I'd love to talk with you. Yeah, so outside of that, let's jump into the reading part.
For sure.
Yeah, dude. So I have a couple things down for you that maybe you can choose from. If not, then I'm just going to go through them all, okay? First things first.
We can do all. I'm down with that.
Dude, right on. First things first, I want to go through school. That seems to be the most impactful for you right now. You have huge decision making. You have opportunities with tests, right? And then maybe some anxieties and everything revolving around your graduation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw out for school, tell you what it says, and then from there we can make some decisions to, I don't know, hopefully get you to where you want to be with that, okay?
Sounds good.
I can't have your last name, right? So can you...
I'm not going to do that on live call yet. Here pretty soon.
I get it. In our private read, though, give it to me, okay? I hate doing this because it sounds so cliche, right? But could you say your name 3 times for me?
Yeah, Parker.
Lagoose comes for transformation. Talking about changing right now. Towards gift bow of balance. Perfect. I got you, dude. The good thing is that tells me that we have the opportunity to make our choices here to give you the future that you desire the most. You're an easy read. Other people are saying that, oh, you're blocked, you're this. No, dude, I think they're blocking themselves, is what I think. All right? You're pretty open. You're willing to talk freely and express your desires, not desires, what's true and what's not true. So I appreciate you. People that aren't as easy to read, that's fine. I was raised in a bar, all right? So when it comes to reading people, it doesn't matter what their state of mind is, it's fine, all right? So school, I don't want to name your specific school.
Not going to do that quite yet as well. Those are 2 things that can be used.
No, I don't want to do that either because I don't want to see the face that you're going to make if you're like, dude, how's this, you know what I mean? I don't want to put you on blast, but I know.
Oh no, you actually, if you want to try, you can actually. I
Okay.
will say it on live, yeah.
You will? Do you go to UCLA?
No, I do not.
USC?
Nope.
It's right next to him, dude. I know it is. It's like right there in that little sphere. I can feel it.
It's close, but there are lots of colleges in LA, yeah.
I know, right? I know it's right there. So I was just assuming it was one of these big ones right there. Just because it's just your family, specifically your father, is pretty comfortable. Good worker, takes care of you, takes care of the family, does good things for you guys. He has made the family very, very proud. So if you haven't told him that, say thank you, dude, because he's doing great things. Okay?
I definitely do.
Dude, right on. Okay. So I never spitball like that though, but I was pretty confident. I was like, I know he's Southern California. I just don't know where. Like I'm peeking around. So
you're close to the area.
I know it's right there, dude. And as soon as I get off, I'm like, you know what? I should have said this, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's fine. So you graduate the middle of next year, right?
I graduate at the end of this year, so it's gonna be technically middle of next year. It would be like May time.
Oh yeah, I'm just thinking it as the actual year itself,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
your school year. Sorry, dude. By the way, I'm 35, so just in case you were wondering, just kidding. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna look at your school. I'm gonna look at some of the obstacles that are in front of you. From there, we'll make just decisions on how to make that future good for you, specifically with school. Here we go. It's like you're talented in so many different ways. It's like, it's cool what you choose. That's That's why you really can't make a wrong decision here, I think. Got it. Gitbo comes for balance towards Algisa, the shield of protection, and Isa for the wall. Going towards balance, it's working on yourself, it's balancing out your play, your fun, your relationships, your housing, and then also focusing on school. So it's talking about finding that direct balance between everything. Yes, you do fantastic on TikTok. You are a ladies' man. Let's say that. Not really. You enjoy the company of a woman. With that, right? Just make sure we're balancing out pleasures and school specifically. The rune that falls over Gifbo for balance is Tharisa for the reactive force of protection of a male. It also means the dexterity of a man in that sense. What it's saying is that maybe you're working on taking care of yourself a little bit too much when it comes to your own pleasures. Okay, school's wonderful, school's great. Being with your partner is even better sometimes. And I understand that sometimes it can pull you away and you feel like you're making the right decision because things need to grow here a little bit more rather than working on school as much because you think you have school down. I'm good at school. I'm good at my tests. I'm actually pretty confident within doing that. That's true, right? But at the same time, you forget things, skip over things before you actually have to take those tests. It's like putting all your eggs in one basket, knowing that it's going to make it. Not necessarily. Don't forget what's in front of you. Don't forget what you need to focus on. Don't forget who's believing in you, I guess, in that sense. This could be other teachers from your past, people that stuck their neck out for you, people that encourage you and support you. Listen to what they're saying, listen to the advice around you, and really balance out pleasure and schooling specifically. Generally, you're on the right path there. Algiz comes for a shield of protection. It's to protect yourself and protect the ones that you love. The rune that falls over Algiz is Ewas of true love and happiness. Don't hurry through school. Okay? Don't say, all right, let me just finish it. Let me just do that. Don't do that. All right? We have to take our time, slow down, even if you're going to fall back in love with school. Because when you first start school, you're like, I don't know, inspired. You're looking forward to the future. And by the end of school, you're like, get me out of here. All right? This is saying right here, try to go back to where you were in the beginning just for this last remaining, okay? If you can get there, you would actually have everything that I was talking about before, how you have that confidence and that certainty that you're going to pass. All of that will come to manifestation completely for your future, and you will pass. You will do great things. Positive attitude is really what's going to lead you towards your graduation or towards your success in school. Isa comes for a wall. This is the stopping rune. It says stop. You have to take care of something first. The rune that falls over Isa is Unsus for communication. It's just talking to people, talking to instructors, okay? Talking to instructors, talking to advisors, people that are going to help you with your test taking. And maybe if you have a question, don't be afraid to ask. Just ask the question. Say, hey, this may sound a little bit silly, but I need to know this about the test because you weren't being specifically clear. Make sense? This is going to set you up. Yeah, this is going to set you up to pass some of the tests so you don't get stumped in the middle of something. So it doesn't kind of send you on a spiral and then affect the rest of the test. As long as you're clear on where you're going and what you need specifically from this test, all right, what's needed from you, then you will be good. What I'm saying is don't be cocky, all right? You're going to do wonderful. Go back and look at everything where you came from and know that your future is bright only because you really have everything that you've already went through down, meaning I'm good. Okay. But outside of that, school looks pretty good. It says that probably a big test comes in maybe around November. Okay. In that time, don't freak out, man. Just talk with your instructors. Talking with your instructor is going to make you fly through these tests. It's going to make you fly to graduation. Okay.
For sure. I'll make sure to look out for that one on November.
Yeah, there's schooling. Now I want to go to family. Is that all right?
Yeah. Family works.
All right, going to family. I already kind of pick up on your dad because that guy's a big spirit, man. I don't know what he does. Like, he does something cool. I don't know if he's a lawyer, if he's a real estate, or if he's a what was the other one? Like a car? Was it a car lot? I don't know. I just know that this guy's successful. Loves his sports. The man's man, but still a sweetheart. Okay, understanding, generous, kind. Like that person a lot. Your mother, right? Great woman, all right? Just in general, just a great person. Sweet, kind-hearted, but strong, okay? Strong and opinionated. But with that, she may need more support than she gives off, okay? So I don't want to put all your stuff on blast right here, but I'm just going to read through it, okay? Got it. Same thing. Algiz comes for shield. I'm sorry. Gitbo comes for balance towards Algiz of the shield, but Rhytho comes for movement. Are they waiting for you to graduate or something so they can move, or they're going to go somewhere or relocate?
That was one thing that they were thinking of doing. I'm not quite sure though. I think they are probably going to stay even after I graduate, so we'll see.
I see it, dude. Let me go ahead and help them with that, okay? So Gitbo comes for balance and peace. This is generosity and sacrifice. This is listening to each other in that same sense. Balance between two peoples that generally want something different, but still want to be next to each other. Okay? So that might be somewhat of a conflict. Gitbo comes for balance. The rune that falls over Gitbo is the blank rune. Trust each other. Everything already got put on the table. Anything that could possibly go wrong with their move, they've already discussed it. They already got it figured out. Okay? They're pretty tactful people. They're understanding exactly what's needed from them and what they're leaving and what they're gaining with their move. But here's the thing. There is more, it's not creation, it's opportunity. There is more opportunity when they do move. Not saying that they're not going to do great things here, but if they do move, the opportunity that comes with them is great. Even if it means that your mother finds new friends, right? New people that she cares about, or your father. One way or another, it says the community of people around them is going to change that allows them freedom, happiness, new opportunities, balance, love. It's great to move, right? When you're planned out, they're good. Algiz comes for a shield of protection. The rune that falls over Algiz is Tiwaz for a warrior. It's just a safe move. You know what I mean? Cheaper, maybe. It's just so much better if they were to do that, just because it brings them into a point of retirement. They've worked very hard. Maybe it's time to take a break. Maybe it's time to go easy on yourself. And I think you've learned that, or not you, but your father has learned that I should probably take advantage of the life that I have rather than just working through it and blowing through it and just making sure that I'm successful and my family's successful. Let go, dude. It's better. It's healthier. You're more successful truly with your spirit if he decides to move or if you guys choose to go. Rhytho comes from movement and travel. This is the actual move itself. The rune that falls over Rhytho is Lagoose for transformation. Growing pains hurt. It always hurts to move. It sucks to put things in boxes. It sucks to do all that stuff. And really, that's like one of the only things that's stopping them is that, are you sure they want to move? They're comfortable where they are. They're comfortable being around the people and the people that they love, around you. Maybe you're thinking of staying here. And if you are, that would take you to grad school, but you're debating that one possibly. But don't worry about other people. Worry about themselves at this current moment because they're going to find happiness if they really just work with spirit and not against it. That's what I always tell people. It seems like so much opportunity opens up for people, but they choose not to make the decision because they're nervous, they're scared, they don't like change. But that change right there is what's going to spark whatever brings your happiness. You got to go down before you go up. The pendulum got to swing one way to go the other. So when you're having a stream of bad luck, or if you're having a stream of doubt, maybe change it to positive, and they're actually going to have a positive outcome with their decision making. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely. That definitely resonated in the respect that they are definitely looking for retirement. They're about that age, and they've been thinking about moving. They're kind of like separated on where they wanted to go. So you were actually definitely right with that one. My mom was like thinking Texas. My dad's thinking like Colorado. Appreciate that most
Yeah, I
much.
was like
Thank you.
Colorado. I was like, it's like Colorado and Texas. There was like two different places. Which one's cheaper? Which one has more? Your dad probably doesn't mind as long as he has his sports and football and stuff like that. He has things to enjoy his happiness. Your mom, she's so guarded. You want to talk about guarded? That person right there. She's just strong-minded is what she is. She's it's hard sometimes for a woman, right, in today's society, right, to prove strength, masculinity, and power over a male. And I know that's a debatable hot subject, but it's a man's world. That happens a lot for women. So for a woman to become powerful, right, some people look at them as mean, closed off, aggressive, too opinionated. No, dude, this person has to work to find her strength, to find her power. And she did. She raised a fantastic child. You don't have a brother or sister, do you? Sister.
I have two sisters and an older half brother.
Yeah, yeah. I saw the spirit same sister. She older than you? Yeah.
They're both older than me. Yeah.
Oh, right on, dude. I don't know why she's on your mom's mind a lot. Okay. She's going to do great things. She's going to be wonderful. Okay. She's probably already doing great things. It's just that parents stress sometimes about their kids, and your mom specifically has become a very powerful woman. But just because you're powerful doesn't mean that you don't need support and love. Okay. Forgiveness and understanding. So that person there, tip my hat to her. All right. Because she sacrificed a lot. Okay. I'm not going to say your dad didn't, but your dad's a workhorse. You know, I'm sure your mom is too, but your dad, you know, really barreled through everything. All right, so here we go. The other one is happiness and joy for you specifically. So let's make some decisions on how you can find that for yourself. Yeah?
That sounds great. Sounds great.
So smooth, dude. It's not hard for you to find happiness. Just where to get off. It's like being on a freeway. Got it. Ingus comes for male fertility and opportunity, towards need, the wall but broken. And then Udus comes for strength and courage. It ends with strength and courage, and it's rare that Udus would ever go negative, or it would be something negative towards you. Ingus comes for male fertility. The rune that falls over male fertility is Udus for strength and courage, but Udus is inverted. Dude, just relationships and stuff like that. Where do you find your happiness when it comes to your partner? All right? Or where do you find your happiness when it comes to making decisions to your future? This is talking about children, making a family, building a home. Where does this happen? Okay? With you specifically, I think it would be best if you just made decisions, all right? Just make choices and just kind of see where it takes you. I'm not saying go and say, all right, then fine, I want to be a dad, so I'm going to go have a kid. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if you think somebody has the potential to be a fantastic mother, a fantastic support, pillar of support, just like your mother, right? To support your family and to support you, right? So you guys can work off of each other. Go for it. Give it a shot, okay? Maybe stay in this relationship and not really give up on it in that sense, and just see where it goes and understand that I'm kind of laying myself all out here right now, okay? And I want to see where we can go and what we can create. Don't just go off of my dreams. I want to see where your dreams are, and then from there, let's see if they match. It's a lot like your parents, actually. So find your happiness truly with the people that you care about and love. This can go towards, I don't know if you're allowed to say that, intercourse and stuff like that, okay?
Yeah,
If
you're
you're
allowed
not,
to say that.
okay, I just didn't know. It goes to that. So if you're not being fulfilled in that sense of power there, right? Whether that be just holding hands, I don't know, right? One way or another, we have to find happiness within our romance and within our male capabilities to truly find joy, okay? Need comes, the wall but broken. The rune that falls over need is Rhydho for movement, but Rhydho is inverted. Just discovering your body and discovering who you are. You're a lot taller than I thought. I thought you, because you sit down all the time, so it's easy to think that you're like 5'8", but you're like 6'1", all right? Which is pretty cool. It makes sense that you're, you got that riz in that sense, because, I don't know, you kind of always like looking down at people. It's pretty neat.
You get that right. I'm like 6 foot. I would say 6 foot, like 6'1". Maybe that's what my friend AJ would say, because he swears he's 6 foot, and I'm like a little bit taller than him.
Yeah, dude. It's like, it's right there, dude. It's like, you're right there. So generally around that ballpark, it's just kind of, it's cool that you have that, what's it called? Confidence within your height. But confidence with height and everything like that is nothing if you're just not confident generally with everything else. Okay? That's when you see people that are compensating for things. You got a great build. You got everything pretty much inherently great for you. But we need to work on ourselves just a little bit more. Maybe you need I don't know, bench press. Maybe you need to start running. Maybe you need to start lifting weights at home, just little weights. One way or another, by not ignoring your body is what's going to bring true happiness for you. Because when you stand in front of that mirror, you want to make sure that you go, yes, right? Because if you're not, just that little bit saying like, oh, this sucks, or am I too
I gotta get like the SpongeBob weights. I gotta be like SpongeBob.
Exactly.
That's gonna be me in my house. Like the little SpongeBob weights. But by the way, everyone, AJ literally just texted me you're 6'1".
Dude, I like you, AJ. Thank you. Appreciate you. But looking at that, it's just the little things. you know what I mean, within your body that maybe that bring you happiness and joy. I'm not saying go do what I did and just go cover yourself in tattoos, but hey, you know, I did and I enjoyed it. So one way or another, if that means just building up your physique, do it. Because building up your physique would also connect to your male masculinity and connecting with women and finding that confidence, especially when it comes to intercourse and connecting. Okay. Udus,
For sure.
Udus comes for strength and courage. Now, Udus was there before, but it's inverted. Now it's right side up. Let's see where it's going to take us. The rune that falls over Udus is Ewas of true love and happiness. Just love is what you need, man. That's about it. If you truly love yourself, if you love your partner, if you love your body, if you love your car, if you love yourself for graduating or the success that you made, truly love yourself. Don't look for other people to give you that love or that fulfillment. I think you're good at this. I really do. But there's like only so, dude, I'm not calling you out. There's only so much fake it till you make it that you really can do until you actually start changing something. Does that make sense?
I don't think that would necessarily resonate with me. I'm kind of someone that I don't really like fake it. To be honest, I kind of just like do whatever I want, and then I'll kind of feel weird after because I'll think that I'm like weird or something. But that's probably
Exactly.
like the most I'll do.
Well, okay, I don't know how to say that. I'm right there in the middle of what you just said there. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna do it. Here I go. I'm gonna do it. What do I have to lose, right? Fake it till you make it. In my perception, specifically, is even though I'm not 100% sure I can do that or I'm confident doing it, but I can go for it. What do I have to lose? Nothing really. I'm just gonna go for it. So that's that fake it till you make it. Maybe you're not the best dancer, okay? But you're gonna go out there, you're gonna have fun. You're gonna have the most fun doing it. So by you doing that, people get to enjoy watching you. Now, when it comes to your own physique and everything like that, okay? Yeah, you're great, you're good, everything's great. But changing yourself specifically towards the better. I'm not saying shave your head or dye your hair, but just changing your physicality in the sense of power would really give you freedom, okay? And give you more opportunity to find happiness with whatever else you choose, even sports. So there's general happiness, okay?
For sure. So I'm hearing that I need to go work out is what I'm saying. I need to go to the gym.
I mean, you can, but changing your physique can go to anything. Like I said, tattoos. It could be changing your dressing, changing your clothes because you've been wearing the same ones for a while. It could be even changing your environment, maybe painting your walls. Okay, something.
Okay, maybe I do need to do that. I have like nothing on my walls. That is kind of a bit much. I did just go to the mall and get some clothes for like the first time in like months. So I like never go out and buy clothes. So that was weird for me. But maybe you picked up on that.
Yeah, maybe, possibly. But it's all about just changing your aesthetic or changing your physique or changing something. Normally, I go with working out. The reason why I do that, a lot of times with some people, especially when they have like a sporty vibe to them. And I get that from your father, right? I mean, I don't get it from your father, but I pick it up from your father. But the reason why I say that is because usually that transformation sparks other transformations. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I've been working out all morning. I got all this energy. Let me paint my room. You know what? Let me go shopping. I need new clothes because I'm feeling good about myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes total sense. Makes total sense.
All right. Last but not least, I want to go into general. These are what people have a hard time with going into general. There's two things that are pretty hard actually when it comes to reading. One is general and the other one is reading past. Why is past hard? Because it's subjective to what the person believes they experience. Some people say that, hey, I had a really traumatizing life. And then another person say, man, you had a cookie cutter life. Do you see how it's like debatable? So only you really can tell the past from your perspective. You can let people know what your past really was. I can tell you what I see. And I'm going to be pretty, not vague, but yeah, maybe a little bit vague, push around a little bit. But the good thing is I'm confident in past. Like I said, you're only as good as you refine your abilities. And I've been refining my abilities since before I was a veteran. I've been working in the metaphysical field since I was 14, right? Is when I've been specifically reading and consistently working. So I'm going to go to general. And then right before I go, I just want to say real quick about the spiritual worker and a reader, because there is somewhat of a difference there, but they're pretty similar. So general, here we go. Yeah?
Go for it.
people watching now. It's like being on a crowded freeway. Here we go. There. Unsus comes for communication. This is the way you speak. This is the way you deliver messages. This is the way you are heard as well. Being heard can also be physicality, your facial expressions, how you look at somebody. You can tell whether you like somebody or not sometimes by their facial expression, or if someone likes you or not by the way they look at you. Unsus comes for communication. The rune that falls over communication is the gauze for the awakening moment. Dude, you're a good talker, all right? But not just a good talker, you're pretty, and I'm not complimenting you, like I am a little bit, I guess. You're easy to look at, okay? With someone that's kind of easier to look at and someone that has the good brains and power to deliver their message, but at the same time, be comfortable for someone to look at rather than going, oh, does he brush his teeth? You know what I mean? With you specifically, you seem to have it made there, okay? Don't waste that gift because they can both fade. Your communication could change throughout years. Who knows? We're all not gifted to keep our minds completely intact, you know? So don't waste that ability. Don't waste your opportunities that you have in front of you just by existing and communicating with your desires. Ehwaz comes for true love and happiness. The rune that falls over Ehwaz is Yira for time and peace. Don't stress too much what's going to make you super, super happy. Instead, just go what feels good. Like I said before, just make decisions and make choices. By you doing that, it says true love's going to come to you. Don't stress relationships too much, okay? Just dive into them and see if they work or not. If they don't work, oh well, that's fine. Like I said before, soulmates are a dime a dozen. I hate to say it like that, but usually people have between 24 and like 68 soulmates. The reason why we meet these soulmates is because each soulmate, each person is supposed to come together. Then they're supposed to change each other or help each other in one way. Change together, stay together. That's just how it works. Now, if you can't learn that lesson with that soulmate, you're set to separate, meet another one of your soulmates, and get tested with the same test. That's why a lot of guys and a lot of girls will say, dude, all guys are the same or all girls are the same. Not necessarily. It's just the same lesson that's in front of you and you're not learning it. If you learn that lesson, then you're set to stay with that soulmate and then you guys can move forward. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it also could be the case that like we're just like we're looking for different types of relationships, and then we see common relationships amongst the things that we look for as well, which could be a part of the process that you're referencing.
100%. Yeah. Like I said, it's same highway, dude. You're on the same highway. You're picking up exactly what I'm putting down. Wherever you go with that is where you're supposed to go. Othila comes for your home. The rune that falls over your home is Uruz for strength and courage. Being confident where you are, being confident where you're going really does matter to you because nothing else, all this schooling and all your relationships and all of your success here on TikTok, all of that, right, can't happen if you're not comfortable in where you are and where you're staying, where you lay your head is what a lot of people say. If you're not comfortable where you are, everything else is going to kind of be irritable and you're going to kind of approach it as if you're kind of, the word's not annoyed, but it's uncomfortable, I guess. Okay. You can tell when someone didn't get a good night's sleep. So take care of yourself, find your happiness, find comfort at home, find comfort in your relationships, and make sure around you, including your pillow and your bed, right, are comfortable. Because if they're not, it's going to affect the rest of the things. Okay.
Absolutely. People always think I'm tired though, because of my bags.
I don't think you're tired.
No, I'm just saying in general. I was just making a joke because you referenced like the tired part.
Aww,
because people always say it in the comment section. It's fun. That's why my profile picture I got Goob from Meet the Robinsons because they got the bags underneath the eyes.
No, I think it's like an inherited thing. I think you're
Oh, it is genetic. Yeah, it is genetic.
Mother probably has the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So last thing I wanted to leave with is spiritual worker and a reader. Spiritual worker, right? Which what I would consider myself. I am a full-blown witch is what I am. I am not just a psychic. And with that comes with different modalities and different abilities like psychic reading or fortune telling and stuff like that. Then you have other people that work solely within reading, meaning they connect with their spirit and they deliver a message. That's all they do. Okay. So there's a lot of people that are coming up here that are readers. Like, okay, I'm a reader. I just work with that. But then there's other people that work within candles and witchcraft and manifesting realities and stuff like that. Now, it's like doctors almost. I'm not saying we're doctors, but there's the general doctor that can really touch anything. And then there's people that are very specific within their craft on what they do. Okay. That's the same thing for readers. So when you're looking at these readers and they're coming up here and they're all kind of different, just think of them like that. They're in the same practice, but maybe they have different licenses and different beliefs and different structures to how their ability works. The witch will kind of go everywhere. I can do anything. So yeah, a little bit about me. I'm looking forward to seeing you. I hope you check me out at the
Looking forward to
Green
see you
Man
as well.
store.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it, Tommy. Thank you so much for coming on. Have a
yeah,
fantastic day.
you too. Bye.
All right, we're gonna go to the next person. Everyone, I'm thinking maybe get like one more person on, and then I might want to go to debates today. I'm kind of like missing the debates, honestly, chat. I love debating way too much. People are saying ethereal connections in the comment section. I saw them on Dean's live. I don't see them in my guest box though. But yeah, let me go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do consider yourself psychic. We are just looking for some conversations, everyone. We're gonna get one more person on here for today at least, y'all. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Oh, I'm a grandma.
For sure. Do you consider yourself psychic?
Oh yes, yes.
Why so?
Well, it started when I was around 10 years old. I I saw an apparition in this old house that I lived in, and it scared me half to death. I was in the hallway of my bedroom, on the threshold of the door, and I looked in the room and I thought my sister was in there dressing herself in her nightgown. And I turned into the hallway, and there was my sister. I turned back into the room, and there was nobody. And I was 10 years old. So that kind of threw me for a loop. But then
So are you saying that you saw an individual there that wasn't actually there? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, exactly. So I know that sounds crazy, but I was a 10-year-old kid, and it just scared me, that's all. But as I grew up, I had more, excuse me, I just walked back from the river. As I got older, the feeling stayed with me of, it's almost like an electromagnetic kind of feel. And the reason I know that is because I have a sensitivity to electricity, I can't live under power lines, we'll put it that way. And even if I walk into a Home Depot and I go down the aisle where the lighting is, I start to react. Like vomit, I react. So I'm not very good around that. I get real sensitive to it. And that, I think, is what this energy is. So I decided I wasn't going to be afraid of it because whatever it was wasn't in a material form. And I really believe that if it's not in the material form, it cannot harm anything in the material world. So this whole topic of psychic, me being able to tell you who you are or what you're going to do in the future, where you've been, I can draw the tarot cards, but I think anybody can they can assign a meaning to each card that you assign that meaning to it. And then you pull 3 cards and you read the meaning, and that's your future. So I don't know. I've done that. I pulled the cards, not even doing it because I thought I was psychic. I was doing it, as a party trick. And it was fun. I just pull these cards. I already have assigned meanings to them. So then they fall on the table, and that's for you. But then people started coming back to me and saying, everything happened that you told me.
Is there something that you could show us here on the live in which we could see that particularly?
I could draw a tarot card for you if you want.
Sure, if you'd like to do that real quick, go for it.
Okay. Actually, when you were with your last person, I decided to go ahead and draw a card then. I use animal tarots. I'm all about nature. So you got the 2 winged ones. The 2 of winged ones, which are the birds. And they have the birds, and they have the fish, and they have the animals that walk on the ground, that kind of thing, for your different suits. Yours came up power, proper choice and use of power. Now, am I supposed to tell you how that works for you? Well, I don't know. Only you know. The card is what tells you what it is. I think you can manifest that for yourself because I just put that into your mind and into your psyche. So if you can do it for yourself, did I do it? Did I call it for you? I don't know. So I do have experiences with dreams. And all I can tell you is an experience, and it's kind of weird, but I dreamt that I scratched off a lottery scratch ticket. And it was one with a large animal on it, a cat. And it hit for $150. So the next day, my husband and I were coming back from a restaurant, and I said, hey, I had this dream last night. I told him, I said, let's pull in here at the gas station. I'm gonna go and get a lottery ticket. So I go in there and I see one that has a cat, a large cat, similar to the one in my dream. And I bought the ticket, went out to the car, sat next to my husband, scratched the ticket, and it was $150. Coincidence, maybe. Coincidence. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it was. My husband said, well, okay, now, so dream a million. Yeah, if I knew how to do that. So psychic, I think there's a lot of roads you can choose, but for there actually being real magic, I'm not so sure that that's really out there. But I think I can do some things that maybe you can't, just because of my experiences. My mother was into the, psychic thing and the tarots. People used to call it superstitions, but they came true a lot. So I have met people that I've shaken their hands, and I get a strong impression of some illness. Most recently, a man, I shook his hand, and I felt like, oh my God, he's going to have a heart attack. And about a week later, he did. So I don't know, did I have anything to do with that? Did I foresee the future? I don't know.
My question would be, is it something that you can reproduce now? If it's something that you could reproduce now, we'd be able to determine that it's likely that. If it isn't something that we could reproduce now, then my question would be my point would be is that it seems like these two events were likely just associated with each other.
Right. And the only thing that I can do for you now is pretty much what I can read you just from what I've seen on your thing, but you've said you expose yourself too much because we know who you like. We know what your house, that you have sparse walls. We know that you're in school. You know that your parents are living there near you. We know that they're going to move to Colorado. Anyway, you just expose a lot of yourself. So it's not too hard to read you, Parker.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's also what can also be used just to kind of weed out the people who will just listen to the sort of claims or people that might know something about you in which they couldn't possibly have known, right? Is that a lot of these things I'm open with, I'm clear with, right? And I think it's good and it's important to be open. But yeah, is there anything else you'd like to reference or talk about particularly?
No, I just see you doing very well in what you're doing, and that's only because it comes across when I watch your live that you're really into it and you love debating. So carry on, my friend. Carry on.
Dude, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, everyone. We're going to be going on to the next person. If you were on Dean's live yesterday, who is the Parker clone, still the topic. I'm just kidding. W Dean for the topic yesterday, by the way, everyone. But or actually, he didn't come up with that. I was just saying that he did it. But yeah, we're going to get Ethereal Connections on because apparently Ethereal went on Dean's live yesterday and literally showed him his own floor plan, like his legitimate own floor plan. Okay. So let's see if we got something associated with this. The Broncos are winning, I am looking at that. But we're gonna get Ethereal Connections up here, everyone.
Okay.
Yo, what's up? How are you?
Oh my God, great. How are you?
I'm doing great.
I'm so excited you're doing this because I'm like, I had so much fun last night. I'm like, when is this topic and this opportunity going to come back? Hey everyone, sorry if I still have makeup under my eyes from last night, but I had so much fun. Yeah, that was crazy. Well, and I detailed his great grandmother and his mother as well. And the weirdest thing is everybody was pushing him to call his mom because she's living and she came through, and that is a rare thing to be able to detail somebody who's still living. Like for a medium, you're picking up on the dead. And I saw everybody saying that. I'm like, that's probably a good idea. So I'm like, I was surprised there was so much focus on the floor plan when there was a lot more to that reading as well. It's insane.
Yeah, no, I didn't catch the other parts. I did catch some part of it as I was getting food and I was out doing stuff. But If there's anything you'd like to come on and show today, because if you definitely reproduce it, I think people would think that's absolutely crazy, especially with both me and Dean. So
Yeah, absolutely. So question I want to ask you first, is there anybody in particular you want to connect with? You just tell me relationship, don't describe them, how they passed away, but is there somebody, quicker obviously is being given the person to like chat with, a little bit longer just, going in general and seeing who pops up. But do you have somebody in mind?
I'll go with my grandfather.
Your grandfather? Okay. All right, give me a second. We always take deep breaths in through our nose, out of our mouth, and give them a chance to come through. Thank you, Spirit, for my gifts. Thank you for trusting me with them. Help me to set and keep my boundaries so other spirits don't come through and there's no cross communication or spread then. The only person that should be coming through is Parker's grandfather. Okay, he's starting to come through. I'm just giving him a moment. I'm getting maternal energy that he is on your mom's side of the family. I'm starting to see his glasses. They're more like the square, not like rectangular, and he seems to have some curl to his hair on the top. It seems to be on the darker side to yours, but that also could be that the different shades of like the gray hair that he has, because it looks more different shades of gray as opposed to being just like black or a darker, like a dark brown or something. So I'm seeing the gray. I can tell physically that he was pretty fit for his age in terms of being able to get around on his feet. Not somebody that had issues with like tripping. Like he took good care of himself, and he didn't really dress like an old guy. Like I'm seeing his. Let me let it come through more. I'm seeing this like funky shirt. It's like black and white, and it has these like patterns on it. It's like it's like kind of dressy, but it's comfy, but it's also really like on the dressy side as well. And I can't quite tell how to best describe the pattern that I'm seeing. Like it has some stripes to it, but there's patterns in the middle where the white parts of the shirt are. So I'm just seeing that he had a little bit more riz or style, if you will, like funky style to the kinds of shirts that he would wear, like something that just brought out how fun he is, but also somebody who liked to be stylish while still being really comfortable. He does come off as somebody who's more directionary while still like he's very I can sense the focus on grandkids in particular, as opposed to like whole family, but also like while he definitely has a softer side to him. He seems more directionary and more of a compass kind of grandfather than a play grandfather. Like he's really like intent on making sure everybody's like set up for success and knowing what they're doing and making sure like they do it right. So he feels very directionary. But I think the fun side of him and that upbeat side of him, especially that extra skip in his step, like like when I see him walking, I see a little bit of a jig in his step. Like he liked to be like just have like some bounce, some like dance to him, like and move. Like he liked to show off what a fun grandfather that he was. So I'm just seeing two different sides of him, and the like protective, I want to make sure that you're good side, and the trying to basically match more like grandkids energy and keep up.
Yeah, there's a few things I would address there. So in terms of directionary and like he's intense in terms of making him like people do the right thing, that's definitely something I see within the context of my grandfather. Like there's like a story I would have in my childhood where he was like telling me to not drink like soda or something like that, right? Because he like cares about me, he wants the best for me and stuff like that. He did have darker hair, kind of like a squarish type, square, kind of like a rounded glasses, kind of with like the little like the older I like the classic
Yeah,
older type glasses with like the
like
little
not like sharp, but was it like square but just rounded off at the edges?
yeah, kind of more or less. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I do see more or less square. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then yeah, on my mom's side, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm seeing if there's anything that's more personal to him. Did you know him very well in terms of any like social life, like things that he liked to do? Did you get to grow up with him a lot? Like if I was to try to dive more into his personal life that you probably know.
No, I probably wouldn't, to be
Oh,
honest. Maybe things related to like my grandmother or like other people, right, that are alive or something like, yeah, I'd probably would associate with, but he wasn't there for a good portion of my life.
oh, okay. Let me see with grandmother too. I really appreciate his like desire to be in the know when it comes to like neighborhoods or like world events because and this is like old style. This is something my wife and I love to do, particularly on Sundays, is reading the paper. We like to go to a restaurant, drink coffee, and read the paper. Not a lot of people like to do that. Like even older folks, it's just so pastime. But I liked. It seems like if I was going to his place, and this is a little bit like different because when I'm looking at his home and it I do have a bigger feel like the possibility of a stairwell. I need to do some more like deep breaths, but I'm seeing like a more rounded table by a window over by like his kitchen. It seems like it's more of the right size for he and his wife than having like, a lot of people there and him reading the paper in the mornings. Like he really appreciated being in the know. It made him feel more part of the community and more and then in terms of like, family wanting to be in the know, what's like everything that's going on with people. So he's somebody who really like appreciated knowledge and inclusion. I think that gave him a sense of home, not just like at home and with family, but outside of that. So at the social side of him, I mean, I wouldn't call him like extremely outgoing and like explosive energy like I have. If you saw me out on the street, you'd probably freak out and be like, holy shit, she might be crazy. But he's definitely somebody who's really approachable and likes to like he can start conversations like that like to the best of them. Like you could be in the aisle in the grocery store and he could start a conversation over fucking toothpaste. Or tomatoes. He doesn't always actively seek out people, but he appreciates being approached and I don't know, giving a chance for conversation as opposed to always like seeking it out. So it to me speaks to a level of introversion without being totally introvert. But so I definitely see the paper. I definitely see his valuing of your grandmother. I don't know if you know a lot about her. Candles comes to me. I think she really enjoyed candles and having scents in the house. So I see that on her side. She definitely did not enjoy cooking. She did what she was supposed to do, but there was joys that she brought to the house, like the candles and stuff like that.
Yeah, thank you for the cap. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. My grandma is definitely someone that is like always, like enjoying just like doing things for people. So it might not be the case that she like enjoys cooking or something, but she definitely always does that as she like wants everyone to
Yeah.
be taken care of or something. So I mean, I'd have to ask her if she like loves cooking herself, but definitely, yeah,
Yeah. Are you in an apartment?
I am.
You're on the top floor. This feels like a two-floor building, and you're on the top floor to the right. If you go up the stairs,
I am
three.
three
Maybe
floors
I'm
up.
not
But
seeing
yeah, I
the
am
third
I am to the
floor.
right of the stairs. Yes.
Okay. And you're in a fairly small apartment. Is your bathroom straight across from the door?
No.
Is it no? Is it okay? I don't know, but I picked up on that on the right. I was picking up on where your home was because I did hear somebody say that you weren't living with your parents, so I was curious about where you were at.
Yeah, I do live in an apartment by myself. I also will be at my parents', but I spend all my time here.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, that's cool. Is there anything more that you'd like to know about your grandparents or anybody else who's like passed away that I can pinpoint for you?
We could do my grandmother. Or yeah, those are the only people that have passed away really in my life. I haven't really had
Wow.
many people pass away.
Gosh, both you and Dean are really lucky not to go through a lot of loss. I know
Hmm.
everyone's really excited about like floor plans. Like I'm showing how what else I can do. Really, floor plans come up for me if there's like a sole purpose. Somebody lost their cat for almost 2 days, and so like when somebody poses that question, like that's when it really comes right through. And so I got the entire floor plan and then described how to get to the porch. And I'm like, your cat's hiding behind the outdoor couch, but is playing. You have a side table with this lamp. I described the lamp and everything, and is messing with the cord, like right there. So she took her camera with her. She was freaking out because she had been waiting 2 days. She's like, I can't find my damn cat. And then her cat was right there. So it's more of like, because I know for him yesterday was like, where are you sensing like this energy and stuff, which was odd because his mom's alive, but things just came through about her. But grandmother wise, for her, like it definitely, in differences, even with hair and like gray hair, hers is really light in comparison to having a lot of the darker gray that your grandfather has. She's someone who's definitely more in touch with her feminine side and going outside of what you've already shared of community and just doing things that she needed to. I get a strong sense from her about like her kind of her self-care. She's a little bit more on the quieter side in terms of appreciating solitude and not necessarily going out and about like socializing. Like she loves being with family. She definitely loves to help people, but I feel like a prioritization, like she really like valued time alone, because I'm seeing a comfy chair that looks to be like a favorite chair, like a one-seater, that looks to be like in the living room of their house. And I just see her sitting a lot, and she's somebody who's a really good internal thinker, like very in tune with herself. And like, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it if she was really intuitive, but it doesn't seem like somebody who dives into what I do when it comes to being intuitive, but somebody who's definitely more introspective, I think is the word that I'm looking for. But see if there's anything else that comes up regarding social life or anything else. My mother-in-law, by the way, we lost her to Alzheimer's. She loved candles as well, because I could see the candles throughout the house. It makes me think of my mother-in-law, Adia. Definitely more on the soft-spoken side. She's a very peaceful person. She feels like somebody that I would go to because I want my anxiety to wash away. You know those people when you sit next to them because their peaceful presence and the kind of peaceful energy they give off, it's almost like it just brings your heart rate and your blood pressure way down. Like there's something like, she just seems like somebody who'd really she how do I say it? Sometimes I'm not always good with finding words. I'm not a wordsmith. I know what I want to say, and then there's like actually finding the words that perfectly describe what I'm trying to say. It's just her presence. It's her presence that draws people to her and makes them feel like safe and makes them feel like they have somewhere that they can go and breathe. I feel like that's why I would go to her. But outside of giving to the community, I just see her home a lot, and I see how she does her self-care. I don't see a lot of things outside of that. She doesn't seem like somebody who goes out a lot just to go out.
Yeah, so are you referencing are you getting a side of like which side my grandma would be on for the one I'm referencing, like the maternal or paternal side?
Ooh, it definitely, I get a strong masculine energy at this time. You're asking me about a paternal grandmother.
You were definitely right with that one.
Yeah.
And also I do want to
Wow,
say
yeah,
with like
I'm sensing your dad, even though he's alive, like the kind of personality he has, and that strong masculine is like, okay. Definitely
appreciate the galaxy. Thank you so much, Law. So yeah, she did have like a particular chair, right, that she would like sit in for a very long time. It would just be like there was like two chairs for my grandpa and for my grandma when they were just together.
She loves that chair.
Yeah, and you brought up Alzheimer's. I don't know if you related to it, but she did actually die of dementia. So maybe you picked up on something like that related to that because of that reason. But yeah.
Maybe because the feeling I got, it makes me miss my mother-in-law because she has the same type of personality as well as that love of those candles. Her chair, which I really like, and I think it's really chic for the place. It's the one that has those buttons down in the middle. You know, the one where it's like it's tighter. It's not like something that you really like. It's cushiony. It's like a harder chair. It's more like supportive in that way for the back, but it has the buttons that are matching like right down the middle on the back part of the chair.
Oh, I don't think there are buttons on the back of the chair. It's one of those things with like has like a wire and like a remote, and then all the buttons are like on the remote.
Okay, so the fabric doesn't like push in like down the middle.
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay, definitely take a picture of it because I'm curious to confirm that.
I will.
But
I will. I'll let you know.
there's something significant about the chair. It sounds like it's just about the self-care, but cool.
For sure. Is there anything else that's coming to mind or anything else that's coming up?
I mean, unless you want a reading about yourself, which I can do,
We could do
I
that.
wanted to demonstrate that medium side because I'm starting to get a lot more questions about like, where's my cat and my keys? And then I'm like, you do know I can also talk to spirits, right? So I appreciate the opportunity to demonstrate that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. So if you'd like to do something like a reading for me or something like that, I'm definitely down for
Yeah.
that. For sure.
Yeah, we can end with that. Thank you for allowing me to demonstrate all sides. This is really fun for me. I enjoy it. I've been able to see spirits my whole life, but I joined a support group that wasn't very queer friendly, but did the job for helping me learn how to hone in and control my gifts. And now I'm creating a development group. It's free every week, but it's a safe place for queer people as well. So everyone can practice on each other, and I can help teach how to develop gifts or how to use them ethically and safely. And yeah, so I'm both on the teaching side and the reading side.
That's cool. That's cool. Absolutely. Um, what's it called? Yeah, in the meantime, everyone, you already know the deal. Tap the screen, everyone, straight to 500,000 likes. I think this is going to be the last one we might do here for this topic, and then we might go to a different one,
Oh my
depending
God,
on
I got
how
it
I
at the
feel
right
after
time,
this.
huh?
Yeah, good timing. No, seriously, good timing. I was thinking of going back to debates in a second. I'm gonna think about it though.
Somebody reached out to me and told me that you were live and that you were doing this. Is they're like, I'm just trying to alert you. Is in my message request? I happen to look. They're like, so now Parker's on and doing the same thing. Are you going to jump in? You should jump in. You've got to do it. And I'm like, holy shit, I don't want to miss this. And I was playing COD. I was in Building 21 and I
Oh my
dropped
gosh, that's
everything to
so
grab my
funny.
laptop. I
No,
know
you're
I'm supposed
good.
to be
That's
killing
so
the
funny.
Vatican right now. I'm like,
No, that would
slow
be
down
fun.
a
That would be
bit.
fun. Not Dean sending roses. That's so fun.
Oh my God.
But yeah, no, that is great. That is great. I do this topic every once in a while. It's actually been a minute since I've done this topic. It's been like at least a few months.
Oh my gosh, this was like the second card. I love this. I love being able to jump in. But I love these topics. There's a lot of fakes, and I try my best to like prove myself. And it's hard because you want to also like if you want readings, you want to sift out those that show themselves to be like really give true readings. I just met somebody. I did a reading for free because I felt so bad for them. They were suckered out of $300. I could not, and I'm like, like it's the craziness that has entered TikTok. And I'm like, you don't have to pay me for anything. Let me just help you get what you really need. But we should probably talk about discerning mediums. Give me 1 second. Let me just sit with these cards. This is the clairvoyant side of me. So you're really happy where you're at in terms of where you're living. But you definitely seem to not have specific direction on your career and what you want to do. I think you're just kind of feeling it out right now. This is a really good time right now through like to well, you have like really great balance, but to find inspiration and what sparks your like your creative the creative side, like finding inspiration, that channeling, because it will be really energizing for you, and incorporating more rest. I'm tapping more into your energy. I know that you're thinking a lot about, it seems like, let me sit with this for just one more second. A lot of what you're doing now with TikTok is your creative channel. I can see you pacing around, just coming up with more creative ideas for not just like topics, but maybe something unique that you can do that can demonstrate your knowledge. You're definitely a thinker, and a really good reader. You're very lit. I'm just gonna use that word because there's Riz up in there. But I think like the reader that you are and somebody who searches for new ideas where you can break glass ceilings, you're wanting to make more positive impact than you've already reached. And putting pen to paper, you're just breaking creative blocks right now and just seeing what you can do with the channel that you found now. I see you specifically pacing more like around kitchen area, but you've been spending a lot of time in this area. I'm wondering what you could do with it where it could grow into more of a supportive, fun job as opposed to getting into something that's more corporate or um like how you can turn what you're doing into a business and have the most meaningful impact. Your heart is more on how you touch others as opposed to just having the follows. So you're just looking for deeper meaning in your life, and you're looking for legacy, and you're somebody that looks at the heart of work as opposed to the popularity of work. So the heart in it, I think, is where you're at right now. But I think what I'm getting when it comes to rest is not to push yourself too hard. Just let it come when it comes, and more maybe of a trust of your intuition and timing. Because I know, like for me, like tapping into my own intuition every day. And I posted a video on the steps that I usually take. It's not going to fit for everybody, but something that I posted in there. But just trusting that the ideas will flow to you at the right time and not trying to force more ideas and more creativity, because you're on the right path, and you also don't want to rush anything when I think there's just gonna be more opportunities your way. I think you're more of a rushy person, I just want to be there. I want to be where I want to be.
I definitely get that. Like I'm a constant I'm someone who just constantly like want to go. And I definitely think this is like a supportive, fun job. So I definitely think I found that within this respect. But yeah, absolutely. I definitely see a good thing in terms of not forcing creativity, kind of just like letting it come about as well. So I definitely see that to resonate.
Just seems like you're pretty happy where your life is. I think that you and Dean are definitely really lucky in terms of supportive family, not going through a lot of loss. Seems to be the only stress area, but it can impact your presence and you not missing things in life by being in your head. I just think that seems to be your main stress point. I always look for that, what can be more of a to unblock you.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything else that's coming up particularly?
No, you just don't seem to have a lot of things going on that's negative. I mean, sometimes I pick up on people's arguments or relationships and things, but you just seem to have a lot of peace in your life. There's just really not a lot to read.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that. I don't really get through arguments and stuff like that very commonly. So yeah, maybe that's why you're picking up on that. Who knows?
Well, it's the only thing that's there is that idea. And that's I appreciate that, because that sounds like a much less stressful life than I feel like I've had lately. Cool. Well,
no, I get that. I appreciate it though. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. It was definitely great talking to you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, everyone.
Appreciate it. Have a great night. All right, everyone. I think maybe we can get one more person on. Do y'all want me to do one more person at least or something like that for this topic? And then also, chat, should I hit a restart? When I hit a restart on the topic, should I restart the live as well? I'm thinking that. No. Okay. People want me to go one more? Parker, that was rude. What was rude? What did I do that was rude? I'm so confused. Oh, I finally have the interact button back, everyone. One more. Do you want me to do I'm going to do a poll real quick, everyone, for one more. This or next? One more debates. All right. Sent out the poll, everyone. Respond to the poll real quick. We're gonna do either one more, or we're gonna continue to or we're gonna go to the next. We'll see, everyone. Tap that screen in the meantime. You already know the deal, everyone. Should I hit a restart on the live, everyone, or should I just oh, someone ended the poll. Why did someone end the poll? Who just ended the poll? Bruh, I'm so confused. Why did someone end it? Oh my gosh, now I have to restart it. Bad mods, L mods, L mods. Someone spam L mods in the chat. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable chat. All right, let's see. Okay, most people are saying one more, and then we'll move on to debates. Okay, we're gonna do one more at least. We'll see how it goes, and then we might move on to debates. But yeah, let me go to the next person again. If you consider yourself psychic, make sure to send a guest request right now. Please only send a guest request if you do consider yourself psychic. But let me go into the next person, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Oh yeah, I'm 35.
For sure. Do you consider yourself psychic?
Yeah.
Why so?
Well, I mean, by looking at you, like, I think in the future you're gonna be like a faggot.
So we just got people who want to say slurs. Great. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you consider yourself psychic, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I can see that you're gonna be a faggot when you're older.
God, dude. Why? Please. Chat. Yo, what's up? How
I
old are
just
you?
that you get no bitches, bro. You get no absolute bitches, bro.
Dude, who shit in your fucking cereal, dude? Who pissed in your Cheerios?
Now I'm just
Who pissed in bro's Cheerios? I can't. Debates? We might go to debates here in a bit, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
32.
Do you consider yourself psychic?
I consider everybody psychic. Because, I mean, if you think about it, like, you can feel someone's energy. Like, you can feel when someone's mad, someone's happy, just by looking at them and, feeling their aura. I mean, I feel like everybody has a psychic power in them, like psychic energy in them. Like, I could predict the weather just by going outside and, oh, I know what it feels like. But to be fair, like, that's how I feel. I feel like everybody has that energy.
So that just seems like we're just like associating. I think for the hand to heart, appreciate it. We're associating our past experiences with the way that people express themselves, like with what's happening now. Appreciate the hand art. Thank you so much. So that's probably why we have like a sort of feeling attributed with the way that someone's expressing themselves. Appreciate the hand art.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that, no offense, but I'm not going to sit there and tell you, your future is going to be like this, because you don't know what your future is going to be like unless you do something different with your past. Do you see what I'm saying? So, like, I mean, I could tell you what your future is going to be like. However, you choose your own future. You choose your own choice. Um, Kind of like how um, whoever you decide in your love life is all upon you, not upon somebody who's telling you this is who it's going to be. Like everything. I was listening to the woman previous about your apartment status and about your grandma and everything like that. um, Honestly, those are all just guesses. I'm not saying that she wasn't real or she wasn't true, but those were all just guesses from her point of view to your point of view. Even then, she still couldn't get some of that right. Am I correct?
So you don't consider yourself psychic
I
then?
I consider everybody a psychic in the way of energy. You can
Okay. So
feel.
to me that just seems to be like past experiences and stuff like that, and just like intuition. But yeah, is there anything else you'd like to go over or talk about particularly?
No, I just wanted to let everybody know that they can be psychic in their own way with energy, but that's about it.
For sure. Appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much. All right, we're gonna go on to one more person. Everyone, I want to make sure we can get on to another psychic today for the conversation. Everyone, for everything. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do consider yourself psychic. Everyone. People are saying Brando. I don't know. I don't know who that is.
Finally, thank you. So we're gonna start next.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
For sure. Do you consider yourself
Cycled
psychic?
shit for about 5 years. So I need you. So we're gonna start with a breathing exercise. Most people like to do the tarot readings and everything else, but that's just not me. So we're gonna start like this. We're gonna put our hands together. I need you to take a deep breath. Release your hand. What does that line say? Yeah, you're definitely gonna be a faggot in the future.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Dean, you could have told me he was gonna say a slur. Dean, I blame you, Dean. You didn't text me that he was gonna say a slur, even though you know who he was. I'm just kidding. He didn't know. Dean would have no clue. Of course, like, why do people gotta do that, bro? He usually doesn't slur. Yeah, Dean's like, fucking hell. I did not expect that. Yeah, we'll get someone up here. Don't worry, everyone. Like, I don't know why people do that. It makes no sense. Like, yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hello? I'm not going to give my age, but I promise I'm in my 30s.
Yeah, you do sound old enough. Do you consider yourself psychic?
Okay, okay, great. Yes, I do.
Why so?
Actually, because actually run a nonprofit organization for people with disabilities, people that have experience near-death experiences, precognition, all these different kinds of things. And I engage in psychic research. And
Yes,
so
yes. Go ahead.
go ahead. Yeah, I heard you mention something about the CIA remote viewing. Can you tell me a little bit about what you know and why you disagree with the statistics?
I don't disagree. Just the I know the remote viewing didn't come up with like conclusive evidence.
Why do you think that?
That's what I've read within the context of like the papers about remote viewing, is that they
Did you look
didn't
at the
provide
peer-reviewed
conclusive
articles?
evidence. It's not
Did
a
you look
peer
at?
reviewed article. It's something from like the is it from the FBI website or the CIA website, something like that.
Oh, okay. So, if you're interested in
It's
knowing,
like a PDF.
yeah. Well, I don't want to. Okay, so if you go to my bio, there's Linktree. It's a nonprofit organization, and it's Science and Sci. And you can go to misinformation on the tab there, and it will give you a rundown. It'll give you the peer-reviewed articles, and it can go over Jessica Utz. She's a statistician that went actually analyzed the research for the CIA remote viewing.
Yeah, sure. I'll definitely make sure to look through that type of stuff, for sure. But from the stuff I read through on the CIA website, again, it didn't seem like it ended in anything conclusive. Could you
The
point to
reason why
me
that there might.
where they
Oh,
end
I'm
up with
sorry. Go
something
ahead.
conclusive there?
Yeah. So what we had is we actually had two programs. The Stargate project was comprised of two specific programs. One reached the capacity of the mind, and others focused on applying these abilities to spy on foreign adversaries. So there was operational ones. The operational ones were actually some of them were released, some of them weren't. But when it came to the research one, that was all released. And so in 1995, Jessica, she's a professor of statistics, and along with a well-known, he's like a paranormal skeptic. His name's Ray Hyman. He was employed by the American Institute of Research at the request of Congress and the CIA to provide a report assessing the statistics evidence for psychic function within the active USA government sponsored research. So these experts both agreed that the US government's research program had produced statistical significant evidence for results, but they disagreed on how to interpret the results. So Jessica Utz believed that we should actually go and try to understand how these abilities are possible rather than continue to keep on studying it more anomalies. Whereas Ray Hyman believed we should actually study more to see if there's more anomalies that are occurring. Where Jessica's like, no, it's going to be a waste of time. Let's go ahead and figure out why this is happening and how this is possible. So that's where that was going into. But all that you can go ahead and look at the reports, all of the both of
Yes,
them,
I'd
and
like to see
also
the reports that you're talking about, because the one I'm talking about from 2002, right, says that there's literally just a single conclusion that can be drawn from the evaluation of the
yeah.
40
So
operational tasks.
so it's an assessment of evidence for psychic function through the Journal of Parapsychology.
Assessment
Yeah, just
for
go
what
ahead on my
evidence?
website and it's all laid out there for you. It has the references and resources. It also has Ray Hyman's report. So that way you're getting two different like points of view from it. And his is also peer reviewed. We also have the documentary. It's
Oh wait,
the
does it
third eye.
cost money on your website?
Oh, absolutely not. This is a nonprofit organization.
Oh, okay. For
Yeah,
sure. I'm just
so
making sure.
it
Someone in the
this
chat
is
said it
only
costs
for
money for some reason.
oh, absolutely not. This is solely for people that have psi abilities, that they can get the resources, sometimes mental health counseling, depending, be able to differentiate the difference between legitimate experiences and something that might be more problematic. So this is all
Yeah,
nonprofit.
so
And
assessment for evidence, and then what's the rest part?
yeah, the assessment of evidence for psychic function through the Journal of Parapsychology.
Psychic function, and then what journal?
Journal of Parapsychology.
Parapsychology.
Yeah. You could just click on the link that I have right there on my site if you like. I
Yeah,
also
for
like
sure.
to kind of,
I'll make sure to look through that.
if you go to replication section, we also have all the peer reviewed articles on making sure that we have proper methodology and credibility in the research in which we do. So, you know, online's not a good way to assess that kind of work if somebody's actually experiencing psi abilities. Um, So yeah, it gives you also all the organizations that engage in scientific research and ways that people can actually participate in legitimate psychic research as well.
Yeah, so I'll definitely make sure to look through that. I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. Take care.
All right, everyone. Should I do one more? Or should I just go on to my debates for today, everyone? What are y'all thinking? What are y'all thinking? Should I just go on to the debates? Should I hit a restart, everyone, or should I just debates? Most people are saying debates. Yeah, most people are saying debates. Yeah. So what should we do, everyone? What should we do for the what's it called, for no restart? We can not restart. We can sit here and not restart. I'm down with that. What background should we do, chat? What do y'all want to do? Why restart? Because it will be related to the topic, and people who have sent guest requests are people